anything like that.
Yeah, I'll take a look. I didn't have time to check. One moment, huh?
Yes, Prabhu.
I just want to be connecting the better microphone. All this technology. I was having an important talk with Nimai Mataji and my wife downstairs. So sorry, so I'm a bit late.
Oh, it's all right, Prabhu. As long as we have your association.
As long as I have all of your association.
There you go.
Yeah. Sorry that you started recording already, and I'm just fixing this mic.
No problem, Prabhu. I can cut the beginning.
Okay. All right. Mike, can you hear this, me knocking?
No knocks, but we can hear.
No problem.
Okay, wait a second, huh? Because it's supposed to be is the quality better now, or is it
kind of similar?
Good enough.
I don't think
It's good enough. We can.
Yeah, it's good enough.
good enough, but I don't know if that's the microphone that I've put, you know.
Maybe you
That's why.
can change the mic in Zoom.
Let's see. Now it should have changed from MacBook Pro. Now that should be like more lousy sound. Now let's try again. Let's see. Okay.
No, we cannot hear you now, Prabhu.
Okay,
Can't hear
one moment. Huh? Then let me try something. Sorry for all this. Normally, I always get ready before class so I can test all these things. Yeah, it should be better. Does it sound a bit better?
Yes, Prabhu.
Anyway, all right. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me to speak. Very happy. It's been a long time that we have not had a session together.
Yes, Prabhu.
So very happy about this. Okay, so how are you all? How are you, everyone?
Krishna Prabhu. Dandat Pranam Desha Prabhupada.
Pranam Agristisha Prabhupada.
Yes,
I see
thanks
many
so
of
much.
you are here. Very happy to Shyam Govinda Prabhu. You are in Puducherry, right?
Yes, Prabhu. I'm in
Yeah.
Puducherry.
So how's the full-time life there?
Yeah. It's very nice actually. Many lessons to learn. Especially.
Very good.
Yeah.
What are your main services?
As of now, actually, we need to go preaching outside because His Grace Prahlad Prabhu is now in Vrindavan. So as of now, we are in the temple. We are having to do the deity worship and all. So, so when Prabhu is back, so we will be organizing some preaching programs and something to go out in the city and to do some more preaching over there. Because
So now it's mostly deity worship, cooking, all this, right? Just temple life.
Yes.
Prasadam distribution is going on every day outside?
Prasadam distribution as of now, that's another thing. It's somehow or other it is stopped, so that we have to revive that also. Prasadam distribution, the daily Prasadam distribution.
Yeah. Okay.
So because the manpower was actually very less, because it was only just the two of us, Rishikesh Prabhu and myself in the temple, and two Gresta families over here.
Oh, so Srividya Mataji and her husband, they're also in Vrindavan.
They're also gone to Vrindavan, yes, they're also gone. And then Anandari Mataji was also away, and then yeah. But now I think she's back. Anandari Mataji, she came back yesterday. So the yatra is over, but Prabhu is staying there for 2-3 days extra. So Prabhu will be coming back tomorrow.
Okay, that's all right. Then it's normal, you know. Everybody is out, so you just do what you can, basic service.
Yes, Prabhu.
And
but apart from that, mostly we have been traveling because we come and stay here for some time and then we go out traveling somewhere. Because since I came back from Singapore, it's always been traveling because when Prabhu was here and then along with Prabhu, wherever I had to go with Prabhu. And then after
Yes.
coming back, and then after seeing off Prabhu in Delhi, then again we had been to Rishikesh Prabhu's house and somehow or other his father, because he had run away from his from college life, right? So and then his parents, they had got up into a problem, but then somehow or
Yeah.
other it fixed. Now his father is standing 16 rounds actually.
Oh, wow.
I'm very fired up.
Let's
I
see.
His father standing 16 rounds, and in fact, he says that after he retires from his service, he's in the Indian Army. So he says
Hmm.
that after retiring from service, he wants to join up full time.
Wow, just see, yeah.
He wants to
Is
join
Rishikesh Prabhu here? Rishikesh Prabhu has not joined?
He's just here. He's taking rest actually.
Oh,
Yes,
okay, okay.
yeah. So, but yeah, so his father is very fired up. So
Wow.
there was another thing.
That's
So then
amazing,
after,
huh? It's
yes,
amazing
Prabhu.
how the family of the devotees sometimes they can switch from being completely against to becoming full time.
Yes, actually. Yeah.
It's
So and then
like
after that,
magic.
yes, definitely. And then briefly we went to Haridwar and Rishikesh. We tried to do some preaching over there, some book distribution or something. We could distribute a few, and we did some Harinam Sankirtan.
You
And
were very
then
fortunate, Prabhu, huh, to travel along with Sundar Prabhu like that.
somehow or other,
That must have.
I do not deserve any of this. Honestly, I'm an utter new fellow, neophyte. I don't know how Prabhu tolerated me throughout his entire journey.
That must have been a really good training for you.
Yes, Prabhu, definitely. I mean, of course, I had a deep sense of respect for Prabhu, but after spending that time, my respect for Prabhu is, gone elsewhere. I mean, I've never seen a personality like that ever in my life. I mean,
Yes.
such determination and so much experience. Whatever Prabhu is doing,
Yeah.
is really the
Patience, determination, and always not becoming demoralized. That's something that I've never seen in anyone else, like always like no, things will work through, no, it will work, no, Krishna will arrange, always, never like doubting. That
Yes,
is
Prabhu.
something really, because like me, sometimes you see me releasing videos, right, like boom 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 boom, but I have my times too, right, when I'm like more like when I'm like, oh, I don't have the energy, I don't have the same enthusiasm and all. It goes down over time. But for Sunagopal Prabhu, I've never seen that.
Yes, Prabhu is always that one high level of enthusiasm. Even when we were in
Yeah.
Bombay, actually, because although we were over there, there was, I mean, practically no break. But still, we tried to organize some programs or something, and then Prabhu was still pushing to open a center over there. But some on the ground, some work needs to be done because even though Patita Pawan Prabhu is there, he is not trained actually, so he needs to get trained, and then there's a lot of things actually to sort out. So
Yeah.
regarding, we may not have a proper center, but as long as Prabhu was there was definitely a big boom impact. I mean, if Prabhu would have spent there a few days, definitely they would have been opened a center over there.
Yeah, this is the
Okay.
influence of a great
we
devotee.
still, we still want to open up a center wherever we get an opportunity. In fact, as Grace Prabhu was telling, that there's a good avenue for preaching in Venugopal Prabhu, his place, because we had been there recently when Tattvarat Prabhu and Vrajakishore Prabhu had been there. So we went over there from here, from Pondicherry. We went over there, and then we saw the people are so pious over there. Even, in fact, even the Muslims are chanting Hare Krishna. They're singing in the kirtan.
Oh, wow.
In
Just
that
see.
college, they did a college program over there. There were some Muslim, ladies sitting in the front, with burqa, and then they're clapping hands and chanting Hare Krishna.
Yes, there's many places in India, actually, Muslims are also devotees. Like in Jagannath Puri, so many Muslims are devotees.
Yes, Prabhu. So,
Yeah.
I mean, so we were suggesting, if somehow Venugopal Prabhu, if we can coordinate, we can actually open up a center over there.
Yeah.
So it would be very
That's
nice
it,
if
as we progress, as we expand, as we preach more and more of our devotees will want to become full-time also.
Mm.
Like just a few years back, let's say like some 4 or 5 years ago, in Singapore, the serious devotees was just a handful, you know. You had Talavit Prabhu, Mahaprabhu, Pawan Prabhu at that time was there, like that Subala Prabhu. You could count, you know, but now you have all these grihastas that are there in Singapore that are being, you know, they can give class now, they can play musical instruments, they can preach. So I see that more and more they can start to take up the roles of like maybe Tadavit Prabhu or, you know, other devotees that are there in Singapore. And like this, our other devotees can start to travel more or go somewhere else open. Because as you say, Sunago Prabhu keeps saying India has so much potential and we
Yes.
could do like wonders if we had a strong team, you know.
Mm.
So I don't know what will Prabhu decide to do in the future. Now like David Prabhu and Rajagishwar Prabhu are there in India. They've done some programs too. So there's definitely so much potential over there. It's just somehow the manpower. Yeah.
Yes. And Prabhu was saying, I mean, in Singapore, we work so hard, and I mean, we still don't have a permanent temple. Just imagine if I was in India, oh no, we could have opened so many temples.
Yes, yes. A lot. Everything in India is done much easier than actually, except India, all other country is difficult, you know.
Yes, Prabhu.
It's not I mean, Indians is their culture, you know, they're pious by birth. So I mean, you push a little and okay, yeah, they convince. And of course you have some rascals too, but generally that's the main thing, you know. Whereas outside it's very tough to convince someone of this philosophy, but it's doable, it's possible, it's not impossible. Just like here in Australia now, we've got some good developments. There is this pious Indian man who I don't recall how he met Chaitanya Lila Prabhu. He met him the first time before we came here to Australia, me and my family. And when he met him, he said, Krishna wanted me to meet you. You know, I've got a mission that I have to do for Krishna. So when Chaitanya Prabhu told me that, I was like, okay. You know, sometimes you never know, you know. So, and so he said, then we met him actually. He said, oh, he wants to show us a land. He's got a land that he would like to maybe donate, you know. So we drive there, and as we drive there, he's telling us how. He said he was meditating to Krishna, and he came up with a list of items that he could do, of some types of service, because his mood is to do some types of works that will please Krishna. So, you know, it's in line with our karma yoga philosophy, well, Krishna's karma yoga. But he always quotes Bhagavad Gita. He's Brahmin, he's born Brahmin. He quotes Bhagavad Gita. So he's got faith in Krishna. So that's what Prabhupada says, you know, that Indians are by birth Krishna conscious. He's Krishna conscious already. It's just not fully, right, under the guidance of a pure devotee. So anyway, so he says he was doing this meditation. He wrote a couple of items, and he randomly chose some of these items as to what he should be doing. So one of these items was cow protection, and another one was work with Chaitanya Lila Prabhu. That was the two things, you know? So then when he told me that, I said, Prabhu, I don't know how you meditate, but you must be doing something right, because because this is, you know, this is right on point. Because first of all, Chaitanya Lila Prabhu, he's got cows, you know, and all over here, this area, it's unfortunate, but all these beautiful hills and paddock that are used, it's for cow slaughter. They raise cows as you know, slaughtered cows. So it's good that if we can make propaganda against that, right? If we can show how to protect cows and how they can really be useful, you know, the bull can be used and the cow can produce milk like that. No need to kill. So that's a really important, I think, work that can be done in the area. So he brings us to see this land, which is a bit mountainous. He's got 600 acres that he bought. He bought it 1.5 million Australian dollars, you know. And so he's got cash. Yeah, he's got money. So he shows us the place. He brings us to a plateau, and then he says, you know, and there's about 200 acres that's covered in trees and like hilly, too steep to use, but there's at least 400 acres that is more like kind of you know, we can build properties and it's usable. So he brings us to one of those plateaux which looks over all the valley. It's a very beautiful spot, you know. And when I saw this spot, I was like, oh, that's a spot to build a temple. And then he tells us, oh, when he came here with his wife and children earlier, he had done a small puja and he had put a Vishnu Murti with Lakshmi and Sankarshan, I mean, Ananta Shesha, that he had put like near a tree there. So I said, Prabhu, you've already offered this piece of land to Krishna, So I said, we are here to just accept it on his behalf. So, and his idea is that he wants to be buying land and starting like Sanatan Dharma communities, So that's why he approached us. He said it would be nice. So we told him that, yeah, we can definitely work with you, but we would need to have the legal rights to one of those pieces of land, because if we come here and it's on your name and we work, we build a property and anything, who knows what the future holds, so we would like some insurance that our work will not just vanish in the future, So he was saying, yeah, this can be done. So anyway, I don't want to discuss too much about it, but this is what's happening here at the moment. So it's very big news, I told Sunagopal Prabhu yesterday and he was happy to hear about this. And he said, yeah, this is one of the biggest news happening now in ISCAM, that if we get the land in Australia, we could build a temple.
Yeah,
So yeah, I'm just letting you know.
very nice. That's super.
So yes, very interesting. Australia is a very
And
beautiful place. Yes,
is
Manu Prabhu.
he going to be working with our standard? Like, how Prabhupada wants it?
No, that is the thing, He wants this Sanatan Dharma. That means Hindu, He doesn't want to be labeling it anything. So obviously we won't gonna be preaching to him strongly because we want the land, right? If you come in too strong, then he will not give. But as soon as we get the rights to the land, then he cannot do anything else. And I mean to say, if he wants to break the land in pieces and have other Hindus move in, I mean, they can do that, but we are going to be overpowering all of them, our building that we build, a temple, that's going to be Hare Krishna temple, we cannot like start putting demigods and all this stuff. So that will be clear with him. But if he wants to have some Hindus have their own houses nearby and they worship demigods, and we have no problem with that, as long as it's in their house, it's okay, and it can be a community too, it's not, when we come to, we run on two tracks, right? This movement, Prabhupada said, there's the Bhagavad Gita and there's the Vaidhi, all the rules and regulations and the pure devotional service. So this Varnashram institution falls under those rules and regulations. When we come to that aspect, we need to think more broad-minded, because in the Varnashrams, if we try to reestablish Varnashram, we will be acting as Brahmanas. So the Brahmanas are very liberal in the sense that, yes, they preach the absolute truth, but they also know that not everybody will be able to shave up and Sikha and join full-time in the temple, So of course, we are not going to be like doing maybe like ISKCON Bangalore is doing, to start to recommend to do this puja, that puja, not like that. But we can understand that some people will be living like as satellites of the temple and they're never going to be really devotee. So what to do? Are we going to be just condemning them and all? Somehow or other we'll have to find ways to help. I'm sure you've heard this conversation, right? The Prabhupada says the meat eater can eat the dead cows, those who die naturally. You've heard that, right?
Yes, I was hearing they can also hunt as well, right?
Well, this is I mean, Prabhupada did mention that it's better to hunt the animal than to maintain those horrific slaughterhouse. But I mean, what I mean to say is that the dead cows that we protect, that die naturally, we can give to the meat eaters, So Prabhupada is somehow trying to find a sort of way so that everybody can sort of live near the temple and we can make some sort of arrangement. I don't know if you read this conversation that even when it comes to alcohol at one point, have you read that? That some people will want to drink alcohol and Prabhupada says we can make some sort of arrangement. I mean, I have to find this because that blew my mind, when Prabhupada was thinking like that. I couldn't believe it. Of course, now I definitely have to find this quote because this is a big one. I cannot just be speaking this out and not showing it to you. But I don't know if Yes.
It does remind me of one passage. I think it was when Krishna came to Dwarka, and the prostitutes came to him and everything. And Prabhupada was saying in the purport that even
Yeah.
though that these prostitutes were low class, as long as they're Krishna conscious, they develop the qualities of demigods.
Yeah, so that's a
And Prabhupada,
thing that it, yes, go ahead, speak.
in the same purport, I was reading that the same purport Prabhupada was mentioning that in a society of low class people, where naturally they will run after women, you know, they if there are no prostitutes, then they will run after the high class, the other standard,
Yeah,
the chief women. So
yeah,
other
yeah.
than
So of
that,
course,
there are some women who are willingly let to pollute their bodies. So this
yes,
kind of
they are
content.
protecting the good girls of society. Like this low class men go to them instead of corrupting good girls, you know.
Yes.
So it's they also have their roles. And Prabhupada writes in those purports concerning this, like the prostitute meeting Krishna when he comes to Dwarka, that by sometimes the tricks of providence, some women are forced to have this occupation, and but we see sometimes that they become devotee too. And actually, this is oh, we've got a quote shared by. Okay, yeah,
Lavish.
that's the yeah.
Yeah, 11119.
Yeah, yeah. So that's the one about prostitutes. Yeah. So it is better to maintain a class of prostitutes than to encourage prostitutes within society. The real reformation is to enlighten all people to become devotee of the Lord, and that will check all kinds of deteriorating factors of life. Like in Montreal, there was this prostitute who would come and give her salary as a donation in the temple.
Wow.
So that also occurs. So anyway, but the point I'm trying to make here is that if somehow or other there's Varnashram communities that are happening around the world, then some people will want to come close, live near us, maybe near the land or things like that, but they will never become devotee simply because it's not everybody that can become. So we'll have to find a way to help these people and protect our devotees so that we don't become contaminated by them, but at the same time that we can still help them, you know. And that's really what Varnashram system was, is that as much as someone can surrender, come closer to Krishna, that much we should help that person without, I mean to say, jeopardizing our own purity, you know. So yeah. So anyway, so if that occurs, we get the land, maybe some Hindus will come in nearby and all, but our duty would be to try to help them as much as we can without compromising our standards, you know. Yes. So that's what's happening here. I'd like to hear a bit about how you're all doing. So, who else is here? Mohit Sajak, yeah. So, Sami Prabhu, I've heard that you have a new place.
Hare Krishna, Dandat Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Yes,
Thank
Prabhu,
you, Prabhupada.
just this week I finished this, carrying all the stuff in this new place and like arranging them. I have some few stuffs to arrange still and to clean all the packages, but yes, other than that, it's like ready.
And you feel more, I mean, you feel better, you have more time for your service and all?
I haven't yet properly started, but I think next week, because next week I will start and then I will return to this video editing. Then I will have I will try to do many videos a week, like only focus on that.
Good. You've taken a look a little bit at this Victizi website?
Yes, Prabhu. I quickly looked at it, but I couldn't yet study it properly.
Yeah.
But
so
I will
for those
tomorrow.
of you who are video editors, we've got this. Maybe I can show that. Yeah. Can you see my screen?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So. Okay, this is hard to. Okay. Are you also seeing the bars from Zoom, or are you just seeing the screen?
Also the bars.
I mean, we're able to see your tabs.
Yeah, so you see this website here, Victizi. It's like a website with videos. You can get vectors or video images, all of that. So we got this 1 year pro account, which is much cheaper than other big brands. So that's gonna help us a lot for video editing. So all of you who are doing this, for example, birth, then you get some little babies there like that, and so that's gonna help us a lot to create more content very fast because everything is there in one place, right? Yeah, death like that. So I've done, if you've seen, maybe I've done a couple of videos recently, so I was using a bit of this. So, but we've got one account, and what happens is that when the person who's using it is going to be logging out another person who's using it. So we need to know like what time we're using and things like that, because it's just one account. So we need to coordinate ourselves. So who would be willing to do some reels or some videos? Yeah.
Wisdom bites. I like to do wisdom bites, and I feel
Yeah.
like I'm very comfortable with that. I like to have a lot of time to work with and find some nice videos.
That's
think
good. That's good.
I think we need a new intro for the like Prabhupada Vani longer videos, because there is not any intros right now.
Yeah, that can be done too. Yeah. So Shyam Govinda Prabhu, you said you would have time, right, to do this?
Yes, Prabhu. So I was working on one reel. I made it actually. I'm just waiting for the final pending this one.
Okay.
I can do one.
We've got the schedule almost ready. Radhika Saki Mataji is traveling in India also, so she couldn't. I think she did not finalize.
Yeah.
Dimitri Prabhu, you also did some nice videos in the past. Will you be able to start again?
Yes, Prabhu, I already talked to Subal Prabhu and he gave me the content to work with.
Okay, good. So
Yeah.
we'll be sharing this website in the group. Yeah. So that you can also use it. Maybe you can contact Sami Prabhu. Sami Prabhu can give you the credentials on how to log in.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes.
I think we used to have one old like Hare Krishna League management group, and there's like 11 of us, and I sent it there. But there is no seniors in that group, so if you want to be added, I can also add you.
No, it's all right. If you all are coordinating there, that's fine. No need to add me.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. Aditya Prabhu, how are you?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances, Augustus Srila Prabhupada.
Augustus Prabhupada.
I am actually in Vrindavan with His Grace Prahlad Prabhu. So the past couple of days, yes, Prabhu. I've been very fortunate to have Prabhu's association, and we visited quite a few extremely pious, transcendental places. I had the fortune of visiting Radha Kund also by the mercy of the devotees. So yes,
very
Prabhu.
fortunate.
I was also able to meet His Grace Sattvad Prabhu and His Grace Vajakashore Prabhu during the Telangana event, and yes, Prabhu. Actually, yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, describe your experience.
For me, actually, it was Prabhu that initially I was very hesitant to go to Vrindavan because I was thinking that should I go? What if I do something wrong? What if I do something stupid in Vrindavan and I end up doing a disservice? But then somehow I thought, okay, Prahlad Prabhu is there, all the devotees are there. I'll just go. I told my mom that I'm going to a Delhi trip. My college is organizing. I just lied to her. My mom booked a ticket for me. From Delhi, I booked a cab to Vrindavan. And the moment I entered Vrindavan, like from Delhi, it was all big city. It was very polluted, and the people were also very very passionate. But the moment I entered Vrindavan, every single person here chants. Every single person, from the policeman to the beggar, they have a Tulsi Kanti, the Kanti Mala, and everyone chants. Even today, as soon as I entered Vrindavan, then I was with the devotees, and we were traveling that day. We were doing Govardhan Parikram. There was this one incident where, as we were doing Govardhan Parikram, all Prahlad Prabhu and Prahlad Prabhu's daughter Tarangini Mataji. Actually, Tarangini Mataji was not feeling well, so on the way we were other devotees were ahead of us. Some devotees were behind us. So it was me, Prahlad Prabhu, and both the Matajis. As we were going, so Tarangini Mataji got a lot of health issues. So then I thought, okay, maybe Prabhu will take a auto and we'll finish our parikram. But Prahlad Prabhu was so determined that he did the entire Govardhan Parikram alone. I mean, in the sense, without any auto, without any vehicles, all barefoot. And if I was alone without Prahlad Prabhu, I would have definitely taken an auto. Prabhu's determination is on a whole different level. And after we finished the Parikram, I was so tired. I was I could barely stand up, but Prabhu still had a lot of energy. Prabhu was managing everything. Prabhu did the entire parikram all alone. And then the next day also, next day we were with Bajahari Prabhu. That night, unfortunately, Prahlad Prabhu had some health issues. So next day we were with Bajahari Prabhu. We went to the place where Lord Krishna. We went to the Yamuna, the bank sides of Yamuna. We went to the place where the Damodar Leela happened, and they were describing it as a very holy place. And there we got to see the deities of we it was a symbol actually, and then there were also the deities of Lord Krishna over there. We also went to the I'm not able to recall the correct part. Oh yes, the pastime where Lord Krishna had put sand in his mouth, the universal form. We went there also, and third day it was that day all the devotees had left. So the third day it was me, Prahlad Prabhu, and Prahlad Prabhu's daughter Tarangini Mataji. So Prabhu booked a bike, and I was very fortunate to have extremely personal association with Prabhu. On the bike we visited. I have a list of the places we went that day. I will just read it out, Prabhu. We went to Manasarovar, we went to Belvana, we went to Bandirvan, we went to Vamshivat, and we went to Bhadravan. So one of the most special places that we went to was the place where Radharani and Lord Krishna married. The marriage was connected by Lord Brahma, so it's a very private pastime as far as I know. So we were very fortunate to go to that place, and we also went to the place where Pralambasura was slayed by Lord Krishna, and then when we went to that place, all the people over there, they were all very pious. They were very giving, very caring. It's not like in the cities. They were what do you say? Like in the city, they want to take from you, but here they want to give to you. Like come take prasadam, come take some water, come let's chant. That's the kind of mood in Vrindavan. But in the city, it's more like, okay, give me your money, give me your time, give me your fortune. It's like that. And for me, it was a very different experience because I have a though I visited some villages, nothing matches this level of transcendental atmosphere in Vrindavan. But
Yeah, you're
unfortunately,
very fortunate.
yes, Prabhu.
Unfortunately,
Unfortunately, I kind of got food poisoning yesterday, so I mean, I had some issues with that. Prahlad Prabhu gave me some medicines. Now I feel a little better, but still a little tired, Prabhu. So we also got to visit ISKCON Vrindavan. We saw Srila Prabhupada's Samadhi, and we saw Srila Prabhupada's and the place where Srila Prabhupada, the bed where Srila Prabhupada left his material body. And we also saw the place. We also saw the I also went for the Mangala Aarti in ISKCON Vrindavan with Prahlad Prabhu. It was a magical atmosphere overall, Prabhu.
must be. You're very fortunate, bro. You know, we cannot go Vrindavan just because we want to. Krishna
Yes,
has
sir.
to allow us to go there. So that's
All
nice.
because of Prahlad Prabhu.
Good. I'm very happy for you. The Lord is
Thank you,
blessing
Prabhu.
you. And
Thank you, Prabhu.
you know, it's definitely good for your spiritual advancement. I hope that this is gonna help you surrender more and more. You know.
Yes, Prabhu. Actually, His Grace Sundar Prabhu also like instructed me when Prabhu came to India that you should go to Vrindavan. You will it'll reduce your sins, something that Prabhu was saying. And so that was
Mm.
my okay. I decided I never thought I would ever go to Vrindavan. That was the last thing on my mind. But when Prabhu instructed, I thought, okay, when I get a chance, I should try. And then Prahlad Prabhu told that there's a Vrindavan Yatra happening. For me, unfortunately, I had my exams. So the yatra started on 24th of November, but I reached on 28th. So I was a little late. Yes, Prabhu.
Shyam Govinda Prabhu is saying Aditya Prabhu never runs out of lies to tell his mother to run to associate with devotees.
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhu.
a very good liar.
Always
Yes, Prabhu.
anything, I tell him, I asked him, Prabhu, how you came, how you associate? He said, Prabhu, I told my mother this thing and then I came. I'm like, how you even get so many ideas to tell your mother lies?
Transcendental liar.
Get money, yeah, transcendental liar.
That's good.
Actually, initially I was I never knew how to lie to my mother, and I was not I didn't. But the more I associated with devotees, I understood why I have to lie, because I used to lie for a lot of wrong reasons, like to go to a party and things like that. So then the devotees asked me, why do you not lie for devotional service? So that is when
Mm.
I decided, yeah, okay, this is so much more better than partying or lying for party for all those unnecessary things.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Prabhu.
Now, yeah, so you're purifying your lying propensity.
Yes, Prabhu.
Good, good. All right, happy for you, Prabhu. So,
Thank you, Prabhu.
okay, is there anything any of you would like to discuss specifically? Something about your life or something about the movement or some doubts or anything?
Prabhu, I actually had a doubt. So I just thought I'll share it with you, Prabhu.
Yes, go ahead.
So Prabhu, as you know that I study in SRM college. It's a very left-leaning college with a very anti-Hindu, anti-Sanatana Dharma agenda. So there are arguments, like we are specifically taught that okay, this is why Hinduism is bad, Hinduism caste system is bad. Once they have this question where they say that Manusmriti says that that Shudras were not allowed to enter temples, were not allowed to touch Brahmins, meat eaters were considered as low caste. Why is that so? Untouchability was practiced, sati was practiced. They also say that what do you say? That they say that we are not against Brahmins, we are against Brahmanism, the culture of Brahmanism, and they say that we should be allowed to eat whatever we want, we should be allowed to eat beef. Then when you
That means
argue saying
that means they're demon.
sorry, Prabhu?
They're a demon. Krishna
Yes,
is called
Prabhu.
Go Brahmana Devaya, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
Krishna comes to maintain Brahminical culture, and these foolish people are saying they're against Brahmanism. That means they're against Krishna.
Yes,
If you
Prabhu.
see, the whole world, you see, Krishna says, Chatur Varnyam Maya Shishtam. He gave us a structure for human society. There is high and there's low. There's authority and there is dependence. So that is always there. That's the way that the Lord has arranged for us to live peacefully in this world. The father is the authority. The wife should be subservient. The wife should be under control of the husband. These things are all ordained by Krishna. This is called religious principles. Whatever Krishna has given, it must be obeyed. If you deviate a little bit, you must suffer. So the husband, and between men and women, men is superior, woman is inferior. She must be subservient. And the children, they must obey the parents, like that. And then there's qualifications. Brahmana is the most Krishna conscious. It's not that Brahmana is the best just because it's a caste and there's no goal to that. Why Brahmana is the best? Because he's the most Krishna conscious amongst the four. Then Kshatriya is the second most Krishna conscious. Then Vaishya and Shudra, like that. And if you see, all the demons in the world are disguised under different types of philosophies and everything, but they all try to do the same thing. What is this woke thing in the West, or whatever they call it, woke, right? This
Yes,
leftist
Prabhu.
attitude. What do
Yes,
they want?
Prabhu.
Bring everything, collapse everything as the same. No high, no low, no rules. Don't tell me what to do. I won't tell you what to do, right? Live and let me live. And that's the
Yes,
whole
Prabhu.
idea. This whole hedonistic philosophy. So it doesn't matter where you go, it's all the same thing. All cheetahs will promote the same thing. Just like now,
Yes, Prabhu.
today I've released a reel of Narayan Maharaj, and he says that those who will leave Krishna conscious, who read Prabhupada will leave Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada is saying women are inferior, blacks cannot be given bhakti. So you see, they all use the same thing. Oh, you read Prabhupada books, you will read that women are inferior, blacks are all Shudra, they cannot be given bhakti. First of all, this is bogus, we all know. Anybody can take to bhakti. But he's using the same point, the same way, the same leftist attitude of, everything goes. What is that Prabhupada called it? Mutual praising society. You're good. I'm also good, right? Yeah, we're both good. You're good, I'm good. The way you live your life is good. The way I live my life is good, right? So he's using the same thing in the West, this feminist movement, liberate women, so-called liberation. So same thing Narayan Maharaj is using. Oh, he's saying women are less intelligent, Is our this Mataji less intelligent? I haven't put it in the reel. If you want to see the whole video, after he starts to speak, like he finished speaking like that, he speaks about the disciple that he reinitiated, because he reinitiated this disciple from Prabhupada, very offensive. So he speaks about, is this Jadurani less intelligent? And then you hear everybody scream, no, So same thing. Oh, Black Lives Matter, right? Women liberation movement. So demons, they are going against, they are adharmic, which means they're trying to break this arrangement that God has done, Krishna has done. And this is what communism does, no high, no low, right? Don't believe. So you, it's very unfortunate, but you are in a demonic university,
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
and of course, we can also be understanding as to why there's such sentiments that have arisen, because after all, it's a fact that the Brahmin class has exploited other classes, that we know too. Prabhupada speaks in a class that in South India, there was this custom that if a Shudra passes in front of the house, he needs to scream, I am a Shudra, I am now walking in the street. And the Brahmins, they will literally come and close their door, because they thought, they were saying that my whole stock of grains in my house would be spoiled. So can you imagine? So because Brahmins were treating Shudras like that, now there's so many Muslims. But why they turned to Islam? Because they were so mistreated in Hinduism that they thought that, what is this? But then you have this Islam that comes that we're all the same, we're all equal, there's no caste. Oh, that's nice. Yes, they're all the same because they're all Shudras, or lower than Shudras. So there's no high and low. But in a Vedic culture, in a human society, there must be some first-class men, second-class men, third-class men, fourth-class men, and the superiority complex is acknowledged. That's the biggest distinction between Vedic culture and modern-day society. Superiority complex are acknowledged. They accept that the Brahmana is higher. The king accepts it. When the Brahmana comes, he acts accordingly, And when the king is higher, right? Not like now that the president, like I'm a little Shudra in my room and I can comment upon what the president does. Of course, now presidents are rascal, but former days you had no right to just a king can do no wrong, right? That was the system. So superiority complex is acknowledged. You blaspheme the kid, your head rolls. That's all. So the high, the strong, the intelligent, we're always controlling the lower. As the lower you get in the ladder, the more you have to be controlled. A Kshatriya has got to be controlled by the Brahmana. He cannot have full independence. The Brahmana has got full independence because he's self-realized. The real Brahmana is self-realized, so he can move throughout the world without any issue. He knows what is what. But the king, he's nonsense. He's a little bit nonsense because although he's a very great personality, a Kshatriya's nature is not something is cheap, but still he's very much materially involved. So he's a rascal. And the Vaishya is even more rascal because he not only he's materially involved, but he's not even bothering much about ruling and helping others. He's more concerned about his own. And then the Shudra is the most rascal. He's got no brain to understand anything, So Shudra doesn't talk. A Shudra shouldn't even study Shastra. And it's a fact. And it's true that the Vedic principles that Shudra should not talk, they should not study Shastra. That is good. Not entering temple, I don't know about that. But not entering the Pujari room, yeah. But not entering temple, I'm not sure. I don't think this is proper because we hear of some Shudra born, like Vidura. He's Shudra born. He was entering temple. He even had a deity in his house and all. And even there's a verse in the Bhagavatam that says that deity worship is good even for women. It's there in the 11th canto. So and we hear that women are in the level of Vaishya Shudra. So I don't think they were not allowed to enter temple. I think this is an invention of the later on, But studying Shastra, yes. Why should they study? If you're Shudra, you don't talk. Just like this Ishvara Gauranga, right? This devotee that we're making the Ritvik video against. He's a Shudra. You shouldn't talk. You don't know what you're talking about. Although you're chanting Hare Krishna, you don't have this Jnana and Vijnana, right? What are the qualities of a Brahmana? You have Jnana and you have Vijnana. You should have both. And here he is, he's praising Narayan Maharaj, saying he's a great Acharya hai, Vidvan hai. And then he's saying, Brahma fell down, Shiva fell down. So you're a Shudra, my friend. You should shut up. You should not talk. So it's true. These are good rules. But the problem now is that everybody is a Shudra and everybody has been, you see why these universities are so bad. If a Shudra is a Shudra, all right, he's a Shudra, what to do? We can, But these universities are creating proud Shudras. That's the whole mess, It's transforming a Shudra into a proud Shudra. Now I've got so much knowledge. I can put these two wires together and the light turns on. Look at me, I'm a man of knowledge. This is all Shudra business. Building towers, building rockets, building this, building that, all this cell phone stuff. This is Shudra realm, it has nothing to do with the higher class of men. And now all these big Shudras like this Elon Musk, John Bezos, they're seen as big men because they got so much money. Therefore, Shudra, in order to not make him proud, you don't even have your own clothes. You accept the clothes of your master. That used to be the system. That when the Brahmin, like a king, maybe he changes his dress or something, then the Shudra will take, or the Vaishya, wealthy Vaishya, he gives his dress to the Shudra. So the Shudra were kept under control because if they speak out, if they're giving freedom, they create havoc. Same thing with women. If you give too much freedom to women, they'll create havoc. And we can see the whole world. What do? These women with freedom. They put a cell phone there, they shake their body in front of the phone, and they agitate the mind of all men. And then it makes men become, waste their semen. And the whole world is collapsing because of these uncontrolled women. So it's a fact. And below Shudra, even more, 10% they should be controlled. Therefore, Ekalavya, he came, cut off your thumb. Now these leftist Hindus, they're all trying to find ways to, justify the actions of Dronacharya. There's no need of justification. He's from a tribe. He's a tribal man. You cut off his thumb. You don't want any tribal people to become too powerful. That's logical because these people have got no heads or tail. They don't know what is good, what is bad. They're like animals mainly. So Dronacharya saw that this young boy is so talented. He's practically on the level of Arjuna. When he grows up, he's going to be such a mighty warrior and he's going to be fighting for the Aborigines. I don't want that. Cut off your thumb. But now in the modern day Mahabharata and all, they'll try to, quote. So that's why, these Shudras, they should not even touch this Mahabharata. They should not try to make movies about it. They should not try to comment upon it. So it was a very good system that if you're Shudra, of course, it's according to quality. It's not that the Shudra is always like that. If you can be reformed and become a Brahmana, then yes. But if you don't want to be reformed, you don't want to be following the Sadhachara, the prescribed rules and regulations that are going to be raising you to the mode of goodness, then you're Shudra. Then you should be controlled. And that's the whole thing, So it's a fact. But who is speaking these things in India now, right? If you've noticed, Hinduism is more and more looking like the leftists of democracy. It's practically the same thing.
Yes, Prabhu.
You can worship whoever you want. We always see that in the comment section. Don't compare Hinduism with those Abrahamic religion where there's one God, one God and only one truth. Hinduism is not like that, Basically, yatamat tatapat. Hinduism is you want to worship what? You are free to do it. You want to be an atheist? You're free to do it. Modern day Hinduism is the same thing as the hedonistic philosophy of the West. Practically, it's coming closer and closer. And they criticize the Abrahamic religion. Of course, we know that Abrahamic religions are not perfect, but at least they accept that there's one God, isn't it?
Yes, Prabhu.
So that's true. This is closer to Vaishnavism than this so-called Hinduism of modern days. Prabhupada says, that Christianity has borrowed a lot from Vaishnavism, because they accept that there's one God, one authority. He's a person, right? And one must learn to develop like relationship with him through prayers and things like that, and chanting, and of course they have prayers. But anyway, so they have borrowed a lot from Vaishnavism. Lord Jesus Christ has given a lot of the aspects of Vaishnavism, but of course it's not 100%. We know
Yes,
that
Prabhu.
he introduced some mundane piety and so many things for the people at that time. But at least this is good. But whereas this so-called modern-day Hinduism it's killing India. So that's why Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was talking so much. He was saying there is Daiva Varnashram and Asura Varnashram. He literally called it like that. There's such a thing as Asuric Varnashram system. And this is what is happening now. This so-called Hinduism of modern day, I'm proud to be Hindu, that this is Asura. Because you're not listening to Krishna, you're going against his will. So all these people, they are demons because they are going against Krishna. That's a fact.
Yes, Prabhu.
So you've been you enrolled in the very good place, bro.
Well, I mean, it's a very bad bargain, Prabhu, but the only reason I enrolled in this college is because it's far away from Bangalore and closer to the temple. So,
Yeah, and Rishikesh Prabhu kind of dumped you, right?
yes, bro.
Rishikesh Prabhu invited him. You come, Prabhu. You come. And then Rishikesh Prabhu came
Yeah.
and joined the temple. As
And
soon
after
as he
that,
joined the college,
he joined.
came into the temple.
Like one square, these games, like they play dice and you move the thing, like Rishikesh Prabhu is come on my square, and you followed him, and then he's more he's again going ahead. So he's got Anyway, you've got the first seat view of all this nonsense. Well, take in, Prabhu, see what they're doing, see all of that, so that you become more and more disgusted with all of this,
Actually, Prabhu, even now itself I'm like at my breaking point, but I just keep pushing somehow. Most of these I don't even, sometimes I bunk a lot, and they kind of ask. I do well in my academics, but I do bunk the classes a lot because during the classes, I'm sure Shyam Govind Prabhu knows about this, but there's a guy called as Periyar. His teachings are taught. Even we have a subject called as Universal Human Values, and the teacher says that we should be allowed to eat beef. I asked her, ma'am, what is so virtuous about killing a cow? I don't support any kind of killing, so I don't support cow killing also. Then she said, okay, that is your choice. That's your food choice. But you should respect my food choice also. The same thing you told Prabhu. That's the same argument they told. I again told, ma'am, you're killing an animal. So, but then
No, you tell
she had
them,
no
look,
response to that.
Manoj, I'm not a mad person. I see things clearly. Just like you have the choice of, you say respect the food choice. Then I like to eat little babies. I want to go and kill little babies. Are you going to stop me? So no, but little babies, you can. No, why? Why? That means you now are making proof of discrimination, right? You are saying that eating little babies is not good, but eating cows is. That means there's such a thing as discrimination when it comes to eating. So why are you discriminating for the little baby? Well, you're going to be causing pain. He's a human and he's going to suffer. The mother's going to suffer. So the same thing. You're speaking about causing pain to a living entity. Now, because you don't speak cow language, you think that they don't feel pain or that they don't have emotion, and if you can subsist yourself without eating meat, then what is the necessity of eating? There are hundreds of thousands, there's millions of vegetarians that are living without causing that pain, those horrific things that are occurring. So instead of trying to convince us that this cow killing is also good and that vegetarian is also good, why don't you simply acknowledge that you kill for the sake of your tongue? You have got this lust for blood, this lust for flesh, and you're killing simply because you want to satisfy that lust. Don't be a hypocrite. You should speak to her like that. Don't be a hypocrite trying to say that you are actually after equality and rights. No, there's no such thing as rights in your philosophy because you're killing these cows. They have got the right to live. You have not created these cows. They are born like that and they have got the right to live their lives. Yet you end their life. Yet you take away the calf and you separate from the mother and you kill if I cut your throat with a knife, would you like that? Definitely not. The cow, same thing. So you are hampering upon a living entity's life. His right to live is not given by you, it's given by God. And you, for the sake of your tongue, because you want to chew that piece of meat, you're doing that. And you, as a hypocrite, you're trying to pose as a good person. But we see. So please be honest. please be honest that you are killing animals simply for your lust for blood. You know, you can speak to them in their face. You know, at least if they're honest that yes, it's true, meat eating is bad, but I just like eating meat. This is better already than these hypocrites who are, you know, trying to accept be as good person. So what is this, you know? So this is all because of this nonsense Gandhi and people alike, you know. Oh, it's their religion. They want to eat cows. What can I do? You know, he was speaking like that, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
So you have to have guts. You have to be quick-witted with these people. Be convinced, you know. Take shelter of Prabhupada. Then you'll have the proper response and the proper. And I mean, don't make friends with them. You don't care if you offend them or anything. You know, be rude with them.
Understood, Prabhu.
There's no need to please such person. You know?
Understood, Prabhu.
Right? Because all these social convention, how to act with teachers, what is it for? It's for pleasing. That means you become their servant. If I try to please you, that means I'm your servant. So if we try to speak nicely and act according to, so I'm becoming their servant. That means I'm associating with them. They're winning, you know. If I was in your college, I'll be screaming at all these people, you know. I'd be smashing them left and right. First of all, I wouldn't stay there. I would leave, no doubt about that. But you know, if I had to attain a so-called class and all. Anyway, so you know, we have to be. I mean, we're such a small number. You know, already Vaishnavas, there's not that many, right? And amongst Vaishnavas, who is a very genuine Vaishnava, it boils down even more. We're a very, very small group, so we have to be very strong. You know, we have to be very quick in the battle and replying to these people. Don't care about what everybody says. Like now that I've been uploading these shorts recently, I get so many bad comments. You're committing Vaishnava Parad and this and that. I don't care, you know, I just block you and finish. I go on with my business, you know, because if I start to argue with all of these people one by one and this, then you know what, I'll waste my time. There's some. I'll read a few of the posts. A few of the. Shyam Govinda is saying there's one politician here in Tamil Nadu, South India, who said that Sanatan Dharma is a disease like dengue or malaria, and it needs to be eradicated. Yeah. So let's pray that he gets dengue and that he be eradicated. Luvesh Prabhu is saying this is quoting. The Shastras, the Yavanas or meat eaters are not eternal scriptures. They have been fashioned recently and sometimes they contradict one another. The scriptures of the Yavanas are three: the Old Testament, the New Testament, and the Quran. Their compilation has a historic. They are not eternal like the Vedic knowledge. Therefore, although they have their arguments and reasonings, they are not very sound and transcendental. As such, modern people advanced in science and philosophy deem these scriptures unacceptable. Yes. And this is right on point, you know, because the Westerners, especially like the white people of Europe and North America, no one likes Muslims because we see how it's full of holes, you know. It's a religion that encourages hatred, killing of others, you know, like fanaticism. So it's a nice purport that you share, by the way, Prabhu. And it's true, you know, like now there's a new prime minister in Holland, Netherlands, and he's dead against Muslims. He wants to just kick them out of the country. So, you know, people of the West, although they're materialistic, they're not dumb, you know, they've got some brain to understand. And if you see even like this whole COVID thing, right, the vaccine or like the restriction and all, it was all Western countries who were standing up. Like Asians are like dodos, you know. Okay, you know, we'll do it. All right, you know, we'll do that. Like in China, they were ruled over, in Philippines, like so many. But Westerners, they've got at least this brain to sort of, you know, somehow or other, right? Aryan into stock, Prabhupada says. So they've got this mentality. Sunago Prabhu was telling me that. It's not me who's saying actually. He was saying that the Westerners, they were at least standing up, whereas the Asians were all ruled over easily. So. And it's a fact. So you bring these religions there in the West, the educated young man that has got a brain and he's going to university and he's taught to think in it with a critical way. He's not going to be accepting these low class religion now. And if he's pious, then he will be interested in Krishna consciousness. I mean, there's no match, right, to our scriptures, Bhagavad Gita and all. There's no match at all. Okay, nice quote. The worst, Shyam Govinda Prabhu is saying, the worst part is that it's an official public statement made by him, and he does not wish to take back his statement, although people registered cases against him. Yeah, this is, Modi should be arresting him. President of India, he should make something against him.
Yes, bro, but I don't know. I mean, because he's a politician. I mean, we don't know what is going to happen. And that too, especially what we noticed is more than the north, in the south, people are even more dumb, especially Tamil Nadu and Kerala. Extremely, I think because His Grace Prahlad Prabhu was sharing in that verse, right? Kirata Hunandra Pulinda Pulkasha. The Andhra, and the purport Prabhupada says, it is a province of southern India. He says
Yeah.
that may also well extend to present day state of Tamil Nadu. Because people here are so dull. In fact, that's why preaching in Puducherry is so difficult actually, because very, very dumb. It's so dumb over here. I mean, maybe they don't even chant Krishna's name. We tell them to chant Hare Krishna, they don't even chant Krishna's name. Even the Krishna's name does not come out of their mouth. They're so sinful. Really.
But still, even though, you have somehow or other, the southern part of countries always seems to be the worst. Even in China, like south is like more low class than the north.
I mean, the Telugu people are really blessed because somehow or other, the Lord is Venkateshwara is present over there. So somehow or other they worship the Lord. So they get some piety. But in Tamil Nadu, even that is gone case. I mean, complete crazy stock people over here.
Yeah, and very conservative also, right? They don't really associate themselves as Indians, but as Tamil, right?
Yes, absolutely. Completely.
Yeah. Well, preaching is never easy. We should not think that it's gonna be an easy ride. I mean, we have to, really be serious about preaching. 100% serious is not something cheap. Because, like, to be dedicated fully on, just like Prabhupada said, right? My god brothers, they went to the West and they failed. And actually, he says none of them was actually very serious about preaching. So it's not a cheap thing to become serious about preaching. We run on some material benefits sometimes, and that's why we can continue preaching, because we've got some little material motivations at time to time, But to be very freed from any desires for nadhanam najanam nasundarim, right? And to just preach without these desires, that is a high level. That is a very high level of spiritual advancement. But we have to work our way towards this. We have to become convinced that it's going to be tough, and it doesn't matter, because at least I'm situated in the service of my spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada. So that should be our aim. We have to become closer and closer to Prabhupada, because he's not here physically. So we have to become closer to him, in the heart. We have to take shelter of him. At least like that, we can feel his presence. And if we are not managing to do this, then we will collapse. We will be cheater also too. That's what all these people are doing, like this Ishvara Goranga. When you're a Kanishta Adhikari, you should not preach, because you're only creating confusion. And that's why the whole mess, right? We appear as the bad guy. We point out the fault, literally, like these last few reels I've done, right? Like this what is the crazy fellow who takes out his teeth? You've seen that one?
Which one?
There's
Yeah, it
one
was like
guru, Mahavishnu Swami. So right, he's singing this crazy song and he pulls out his teeth in front of the camera. Okay, so literally one devotee in the comment section said, "How do you know that he's not qualified?" I mean, please, we don't even speak of the July 9th letter or anything now. Just the clip itself, you should know that he's a madman. But still, how do you know that he's not qualified? Why are they so dumb? No, it's because they hear all these Kanishta Adhikari talk. A Kanishta Adhikari, he cannot recognize, right? Only the Madhyama Adhikari and the Uttama, he can recognize who is who. So those Kanishtas, they come and they give lectures, and then they tell you, oh, here's a great Mahabhagavata, here's a great thing. So you start to become all this nonsense. And again, non-discrimination. You see, everything goes towards this non-discriminating, this not seeing things according to Shastra. Krishna gives us, this is that, this is this, this is that, this is higher, this is lower, this is lower. Everything is like tuk, 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 steady. But when you're in the realm of all these, atheists, impersonalists, voidists, Kanishtadikaris, Mayavad, Sahajya, you name it, it's all blah, 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 right? They don't know what is what. They see the mode of ignorance as highest and the mode of goodness as lower, or the mode of passion as highest, and they cannot distinguish. They're blind. They're blind. Om Agyamnati Mirandasya Gyananjala Shalakaya Chakshurul Mitritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. One who's really surrendered to Guru, he's the one who sees things as they are. No, sir, this is like that. This is like this. This is like that. That's why in ISKM we have got good vision. We understand what is what. But all of them, the whole pack, all together, even ISKCON, they're all met. They cannot see because they're not being open. They're not seeing. Their eyes are closed. And therefore they see this Radhanath Swami playing harmonica. The quote is there. I'm not even the one speaking about it. It's Prabhupada. I've put that quote there. Prabhupada is saying we should not use anything other instrument. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is God himself. Had he thought that we should have spread the Sankirtana movement by other means, he would have done so. So clearly. And then in the comment section, Prabhupada sat down with his disciples. Sometimes they had guitar. Prabhupada did that, did that. Yes, okay, that's all right. In some circumstance, maybe Prabhupada did not want to chastise right away. He let it run for some time. But Prabhupada's, he's squeezing, over time, he's tightening the screw that in the beginning, I allowed you with your guitar. Now you got to give up. You got to stop that. So this harmonica thing, and okay, if it was like a neophyte devotee, let's say, who plays harmonica, I'm not going to waste my time like saying, oh, you see, he's a neophyte. He's not, everybody's got their own contamination. But the guy is posing as a Mahabhagavata and he's got thousands of disciples. Excuse me, and you're doing this thing. So people are so fanatic, I've got this message, one of our Matajis, some new Bhaktin sent a message to her. Now I'm not going to follow Nimai Nitai Prabhu. He's going nowhere. He has destroyed his Bhakti Lata Bij. I'm going to unfollow his channel. He cannot offend such a exalted devotee. Like, they all run on sentiment. They're not being trained. They lack the training, and therefore they cannot discriminate. So they run on emotions. And so that's what we have to deal with. Can you imagine? As if it was not hard enough to deal with the karmis, now we have to deal with the devotees even. That's our position tonight. So when we are strong and very tak, 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 it's good. It's good. It's not bad, because if we're not like this, we are going to be slowly going down and down and down. Sometimes I'm criticized by some devotees, some of our devotees. They think Nimai Nitai is a bit too much, maybe too harsh. Well, I'm sorry, I'm more concerned about my spiritual life than your spiritual life or his spiritual life. And I can feel that when I'm like this, I feel strong. I can feel that when I'm like this, things are clear in my mind, But when I become kind with them, I become soft. Oh no, ISKCON is also all right. And then I can see I become bewildered. I lose the enthusiasm. I lose faith in Prabhupada, like that. So no, I will draw my line very strongly, a mile deep, and you stand on this side and I stand on my side. And I'll be criticizing you left and right, because this is it. We have to develop this mood because we're very small, very small.
Yes.
So if we don't stand tight with one another and we don't have this fiery mood of preaching, of course, sometimes some people come to us and they're like neophytes. They don't know much. We have to also learn to slowly lead him, because you cannot expect the person who comes from ISKCON and then you post one comment and okay, I accept the Ridvik system, ISKM is the best. There has to be some transition period. So we have to be soft with those who just come. That's why I said in the group now, this morning, early morning, I said now we've got like only a couple of days, we got like 50 people that joined. I was going hard and sharing the link in the comments. Now I'm gonna stop, gotta boil the milk a bit. So I said now we have to slowly get them to understand what we're about, So of course I did post that comment just now about like that. I think one devotee was sharing this thing about Guru, how to become Guru in ISKCON, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
So like I've put those quotes there. So but not attack them like, oh, you're foolish, you're not seeing, not like that, you know. We should attack the philosophy, the deviant philosophy, not try to offend them personally, you know, because they don't understand anyway. When they come, they'll just see like people screaming at them, and they'll be like, whoa, what's going on? I'm leaving this place, you know. So we'll have to learn to be, it's all, as we progress spiritually, we'll learn how to deal with different situations, when to be very strong and you know, no compromise, and when to be a bit more soft and to give the person a bit more time, you know, like that.
Because this I saw, because when Prabhu was in Kolkata, I mean, he was doing a program at a house program at the place of one Mataji. They were following Jayapataka Swami, and they had a big picture of Jayapataka Swami also. Prabhu came, he saw, he got disgusted actually, but he did not speak anything against them. He just spoke Krishna consciousness philosophy, and he never spoke anything about ISKCON or anything. He never spoke anything of it, as long as he was in Kolkata, because Prabhu was saying, you know, that they're all gundas over there. If Prabhu says something and then they get to know, then they'll bring their gundas, and then, you know, it's all going to be a big mess.
That's another thing too. And one more thing is that preaching to them through philosophy is actually better than preaching through exposing what the gurus are doing. Although I'm doing it now. I'm doing it.
One of the devotee there actually remarked, you know, he came and he saw Prabhu's, you know, he heard Prabhu's classes, and he saw that, you know, Prabhu is actually speaking fact. He himself, this is he himself saying, he said that, you know, this Prabhu is actually speaking facts. All other people in ISKCON, you know, they're, you know, just putting some masala here and there. This is what he literally said.
Yeah, exactly.
Putting some masala here and there. But
so the intelligent people, they will notice that. And that's the people we want. You see, like when we speak as it is without compromise, it's a blessing for our spiritual life, because we attract the intelligent devotee and we repulse the nonsense devotees. You know, these nonsense devotees that don't want to discriminate, they want to do whatever, we don't want them. We want them miles away from us. And when they say, oh, you only criticize, you only this, I don't want to be with you. Thank you very much. You know, go away. I don't want to be with you. It's a fact. So, but when you start to compromise or be softy, then you attract some people that are on the fence. And in a long run, these people are going to create trouble. Because they're not really with you, you know. And if they come in the congregation, they come in ISKM, they're like not here, not there, they're gonna create trouble. And they're gonna, not only that, their doubts, their speculation, they're gonna be talking around, you know, this, that, and they'll start to criticize the senior devotee like that, and they'll contaminate the neophyte. So it's better that we set things straight, so that, you know, these people don't come. That's all, you know. I'm happy to have 2-3 sincere devotee around me. I don't need a big temple with thousands of devotees. I don't care, you know.
Yes. Yes, bro.
Okay.
Like, when is that full video going to be out? Because you said what you're uploading now is just parts of a complete video.
Yes. I've been at it. I mean, somehow or other, I'm trying to make it more better. So I'm adding things, you know. But I mean, I've been working so long on this video that I'm thinking might as well include everything. So there's a lot of, I need at least, I would say, from now to release, maybe another 15 hours of work, you know, on it.
Okay.
So I think definitely it will be out by the end of the month, before next year, that's for sure. But nice. I would prefer like within a week or 2 weeks.
So welcoming the new year with a bang.
Yeah, welcoming the new year with a bang. Exactly.
Boom, video completely distinguishing.
That's going to be very important. And we have like Bhakta Dipanshu, who's going to be putting the Hindi subtitles on it. So
yes,
it's also very important.
I saw him doing the subtitles already like months ago, and he showed me some sneak peeks of the video, and even then it was looking like, I was thinking that this is gonna be really good. And
yes,
making it even better.
I've made a lot of adulteration since then. I mean,
Yeah.
not adulteration. I've added more things then, and I've moved some parts here and there. But at least he's got already a draft that he can work with. The translation already there, but he's gonna have to add more. There's more stuff. Yes, and I mean now that video is gonna be really like kind of the core Ridvik thing because it's fast paced, and there's so many shlokas being shown, and practically every aspect of their arguments is being blown out. So it's kind of a condense. It's going to be about an hour and 20 minutes, I think, so but everything like is in one good and is well presented. And not only that, there's going to be a lot of those clips, because all those clips that I'm sharing, harmonica, teeth, it's all in there, so from different angles we're showing all the deviations, and there's some nice arguments that have not been shown before. Of course, Tamil Prabhu did this 15-hour series. I've got actually, when I watched this 15-hour series of Talavid Prabhu, I was taking notes. I was taking audio notes. And yeah, like all this is like audio notes when I was listening. I was taking like there's more. There's like 2-3 pages. Anyway, so as I was listening, I was putting an audio note like that. And all of this I haven't gone through again. I'm thinking maybe I should listen to all of this and see if there's something else I can add. But if I do that, I don't know if it'll come out before next year.
So,
Okay, Shyam Govinda Prabhu
what
here.
what I was
Yes.
considering is because the YouTube algorithm, what I heard is the way it functions is it does not generally promote the longer videos. So what I was thinking is maybe the big video can be cut into parts, maybe be 2 parts or
Well,
something.
the
Part
big
1,
video
part
has to be there as a big video.
Yeah.
But then we can make segments off of it,
Yes.
like all these shorts. I've done them, and once the big video is released, we can put my light died off. Once the big video is released, we can put the link in all of these shorts, and we can release some like wisdom bite, like 3-4 minutes, like that.
Yes.
Yes,
We can cut it.
I think like it was done for the Ritwik system, the Ritwik bona fide system also.
Yeah.
Like that.
That was done, right? Yeah, that was already done, right? So similar thing can be done.
I think important thing when that is released, that video, that the first 10 hours everyone needs to do like power sharing. We need to make it like artificially trend at the end, at the beginning, with the sharing everywhere, so we get as many clicks the first hours.
Yeah, that's definitely what I was going to ask, is that everybody shares it. Myself, I'm gonna be doing a lot of sharing, like in Facebook, everywhere, like it has to reach as many people as possible, because we can make devotees with this. I'm certain that we'll get at least one sincere soul to join us. Let's hope we get more. But this is going to be a very, very powerful tool for our preaching in the future. So yeah. Okay, let me catch up with some of the comments first. Prabhu, sorry, Manu Prabhu, I just want to. Isham Govinda Prabhu is saying the worst part is that it's an official public statement made by him, and he does not. Okay, that's I already read that. Luvesh is saying, my university has a mandatory course called Gender Studies. Well, I don't need it. I don't need a gender study. It's very simple. What do you have between your legs? You have this, you are a male. You have that, you are a female. Okay, study finish. Nimai Prabhu, what's the order one should start reading Prabhupada's books? Kindly pick my question next. Actually, my laptop's battery is running low. What's the order? Well, Bhagavad Gita is the ABC, right? Then Bhagavatam, and then Chaitanya Charitamrita. Other small books you can read in the beginning or in between, but the order, Prabhupada says, postgraduate Bhagavad Gita, graduate Bhagavatam, and postgraduate Chaitanya Charitamrita. Pre-graduate Bhagavad Gita, yeah, like that. 1, 2, 3. France has riot about everything. Yeah.
And next question. While I was going through this website, prabhupadabooks.com, I believe, there are a few magazines like Back to Godhead. So it's always not possible to go through Gita. I mean, definitely I have set around 2-3 hours daily to go through that, read it. But other than this, let's say when I feel like going through these magazines, can I refer those? I mean, can I go through those magazines?
Yes, of course. Back to Godhead are made for the general public. So sometimes the philosophy shown is not, I mean, it's made more for newcomers, you know. So yeah, you can read those. This is nice too. The ones that are there in Prabhupada books are good because it's all the post 78. So it's all the one done under Prabhupada's guidance, you know. So that's good. That's nice. That's very good. Also, conversations are very nice. You know, like sometimes you might not have, you know, like Bhagavatam, like the way I read Bhagavatam, I read the Sanskrit, I read the word by word, then I read the translation, purport, like that. So it's a bit hard to start it. I start it when I know that I have at least half an hour, then I start reading. But conversations, it's in and out, right? Or classes, it's in and out. You can just open it, and wherever you left up, you read a little bit of the conversation, and you can close very easily. Actually, these conversations are where that was one of my beginning. One of the thing I was reading the most in my first year or two of Krishna consciousness was conversations. I went through all of them, and it really gave me the mood on how Prabhupada preach. Because in the conversation, he always preaches to his disciple, and he often have the disciple be one of the opponent, you know, philosophical opponent. So I could see how Prabhupada would use arguments. And this is how you want, if you want to learn how to preach, you have to read those morning walks with Prabhupada and those conversations. This is really that's the way that I learned to preach, basically. It's through Prabhupada's conversations and morning walks. So they're very, very useful.
Actually, this website has almost everything. I mean, Back to Godhead magazines, also conversations are there, lectures, everything. So
Yes.
you suggest me going through this when right? All right.
Yes, you can go through it. Yeah, conversations and all. But as I say, you should have, what I think is best is you should have something that you're reading. Let's say you want to read like Science of Self-Realization. And you're reading this book, but in your free time between, like, you're waiting for a bus or something, maybe you don't want to be taking out the book. I don't know, something easy is this. Because, for example, you know, like you take it out, then I can read a little bit of those conversations, right? That's easy. Then I read a few, okay, then I close it and I do something else. Like this, I can go on and on. So my advice to you would be that if you have, you know, you have a phone, you download them on your phone somehow or other. Not download, I mean, if you have an iPhone, there's books, you know, you can get all the books, or there's a Pocket Veda, but Pocket Veda doesn't have the conversation and all. Otherwise, there is a Veda base there. So try to get one of these apps, you know, and if you want the books in, like, for iPhone, maybe someone can share with you, you know, all the books, like you can have all of Prabhupada books on your iPhone like that. And you see, like,
right,
yeah, like this, then you get all the books right at the click of your hand, you know.
Okay. Well, laptop is more accessible. Anyway, mobile also is good. But since I'm working from home, so it's easy for me to sit in the setup and then read that.
Yes. Okay. Any way that you feel that is helping you, you know, if you can focus on the laptop, then no problem.
Right. I mean, it's easy in the laptop to just look up for any words which you don't understand. Make a quick Google search. I mean, you have options like bigger screen and all. So
Yeah.
I'm comfortable there, right? Okay. And recently, what's happening is, although I'm reading the purport and this, but sometimes when I don't understand what actually is being conveyed, I am right now following this international KCM, that is a channel. So he actually uploads this video of explaining every sloka along with the purport, exactly same. I mean, whatever there is in the thing. So do you recommend that or
Who is
Yeah.
this? International KCM? I don't know
Yeah,
who that
wait,
is.
let me just give you the link to the.
So one thing is that, you know, if he's a devotee from ISKCON, there's limits as to how much he can understand. Because I don't know how much you studied the matter, you know, but the system of voting in gurus, that is bogus. I mean, you are Indian, right? You know
Right.
about Sanatan Dharma. So can you find any of the exalted acharyas that was elected by a vote? Does that make sense?
Right. So
Like
no.
Ramanuja Acharya,
Mhm.
Vishnu Swami, Nimbarkacharya, Madhvacharya, even Sankaracharya, Narada Muni, you know, Vyasadev. Was any one of them elected by a group of people that now you can act as guru? It does not make sense. This is adharmic. This is not Vedic. The spiritual master is empowered by Krishna directly. It's Krishna who decides, not that a group of people will vote you in. You know, Guru is supposed to be highest. There's no one above Guru except Krishna. There's nobody above him. Of course, there's
Right.
his Guru. But my point is that Krishna is there, then Guru is there, then disciple is here. What you offer to the spiritual master, he gives to Krishna directly. Directly. But in ISKCON, the philosophy is being preached that you give to me, I give to Prabhupada, Prabhupada gives to Bhaktisiddhanta. It's not like that. It's not like that. Then what? I give, and only Lord Brahma is qualified to offer directly to Krishna. Is that the philosophy? No. Each one of them are Mahabhagavatas, and each one of them in the Parampara system are qualified to offer directly to Krishna.
Right.
Unfortunately, we have got these gurus who go on to some party and then some dabang, and he's a person who's going to be offering your offering to Krishna. How he can? He's definitely a conditioned soul. But although he's a conditioned soul, the GBC is continuing this game of having every single person bowing down to him. I mean, his disciples, they bow down to him with the prayer, Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtabhutale Shrimati Bibi Govinda Swami Iti Namine, like that. So they replace the name, the prayer for Prabhupada, they replace the name. And Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivakachacharya Ashtotara Shishimad, such and such guru. These are prayers for Uttama Adhikari. So it's a whole show going on. And to tell you the truth, an Uttama Adhikari, when he preaches, when he's on the planet preaching, he is felt. Everyone feels him. Not just the devotees, everyone. Like when Prabhupada came, the West had no idea what Krishna, this word did not exist in the West, Krishna. You know, a few people like here and there. When Prabhupada came, after a few years of his preaching in the West, Krishna, the Hare Krishna was a household word. Everybody knew it. It was in the movies, it was in the TV shows, it was in the advertisement, it was, you know, people knew. Like if we were going to an airport, people knew that I'm going to be seeing some Hare Krishna people. Like big city airports, the Hare Krishnas are going to be there.
Right.
That's the kind of impact that the Uttama Adhikari has. He can turn the whole world to Krishna consciousness, Srila Prabhupada says. Now we have got a list of 90 gurus in ISKCON, almost 90. Yet in the West, Hare Krishna is, no one knows us anymore. We have disappeared from the scene. How is it possible? If you've got so many empowered servants of Krishna, the whole world should be knowing us. Imagine if you have 80 Srila Prabhupads on the planet. Finish. Everybody's a devotee. Everyone is a devotee. Everybody at least would be, you know, purified. There would be no, practically, there would be Vaikuntha. Literally, the whole world would be chanting Hare Krishna. It would be done. You know, no more Kali Yuga. But that's not what we experience. We experience that the West is dwindling. So these gurus, they can be big time in India. Anybody can be big time in India. This Sadguru is a big time. This Ma something is a big, even this Nityananda fella, you know, this crazy guy. I shall make tiger speak Sanskrit and all. He's also a big guru in India. So in India, it's easy. You can cheat very easily. But the Westerners, they're not that easily cheated because these things are new, you know. It's not that everybody can become and be guru. So to preach in the West is the real test, actually. That's the real test of how good you are. And we can see that New York is nothing, LA is nothing, you know, it's basically the temples are filled with Hindus. That's not what Prabhupada wanted. He wanted us to go to the West to preach to Westerners. He wants us to go to China to preach to Chinese. He wants us to go to Africa to preach to the Africans. make local devotees. That's the proof that you have Shakti, that you can convince someone who has never heard of this, it's not his culture, and you make him a Brahmana Vaishnava. That's the proof that you're a real bona fide spiritual master. But, okay, maybe Russia and Ukraine, there's a lot of devotee there, but we have to see the standard also. Just the other day, there's one devotee who told me that in Russia, he saw the girls were pujari in the temple. He saw the same girls outside smoking cigarettes. Same girls. And I have also personally experienced that. I was in Montreal temple, and this pujari comes in, and he tells me, don't come too close. I have a very bad breath. So I'm thinking, okay, I mean, it was weird. But then I smell, and the guy was smelling like cigarettes. I know I was smoking cigarettes before. The guy just had a cigarette, and he's coming in the temple, and he's going to go change, and he's going to go on the altar, serve Krishna. So this is everywhere, Prabhu. And he's getting a salary, you got to pay people now for bhakti. In Prabhupada's time, there was hardly any salaries, maybe sometimes special cases. Now, if you go on the ISKCON website and you see salary allotted to different devotees, wow, you see temple president, 60,000 a year, this, that, and free apartment, free accommodation. So the purity has dwindled so much, Prabhu. It's not about chanting Hare Krishna. Chanting Hare Krishna is not going to save you. I'll say it clearly. Chanting Hare Krishna without offense is going to save you. That's the whole point that they don't get. They think that they can do all this and continue the offenses at Srila Prabhupada and they'll be saved. No. What is that verse? Shyam Govinda Prabhu. Bahu Janma Kare Yadi Shravana Kirtan. What's the number?
CC Madhya 816.
816. So
Yes, Prabhu.
That's the whole point. So CC Madhya 816. It's an easy number to remember. 816. Okay, that's not it. No,
then it's Adi 816.
Adi. I think it's that.
Yeah. I just got confused.
That's it.
Adi
Bahujan. So
your screen is not sharing.
Bahujanma kare yadi shravana kirtan tabuta napaya Krishna pada premadhan. If one is infested with the 10 offenses in the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, despite his endeavor to chant the holy name for many births, he will not get the love of Godhead. That is the ultimate goal of this chanting. That's the whole problem. They think that, why are you criticizing? They're also chanting Hare Krishna. They're also doing so much good things. Yes, that's okay. You can bring millions of devotees or even 10 million. But if the offenses are there, it's not going to be fruitful. It's just not going to happen. So that's why we must criticize. It's not that we like to do this. You think I like to spend my day simply showing the deviations and I prefer to be doing my deity worship, reading Prabhupada books, but we have to, because if we don't, then Shuddha Bhakti is going to vanish. The pure devotional standard that Prabhupada has given is going to be more and more pushed to the side until it disappears completely. If we don't fight for it, then the Shuddha Bhakti platform of being freed from offenses and fully surrendering to the spiritual master is just not going to exist anymore, and then there'll be no chance for deliverance. And if you see the acharyas, every time they come, they reestablish, right? Just like Krishna says, yada yada hi dharmasya. Well, same thing. The pure devotee comes, same thing. Yada yada hi dharmasya. He comes and he reestablishes the proper, just like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur came. He established, he fought like anything, like a lion, and he defeated all those Sahajas, caste Brahmanas, Nityananda Vamsa, you name it, Bhaula, all these Apasampradayas. He scared them like anything. He established pure bhakti. And he disappeared, again it dwindled, nowhere to be found. The whole Gaudiya Math disobeyed. They were asara, useless, even though they were chanting 64 rounds. I mean, of course, we don't know if they could manage to do that, keep doing this, but they were initiated at 64 rounds, those sannyasis, right? And they became useless. And then Prabhupada came again. He showed when he was here, it was pure bhakti, everybody was like, Prabhupada. And then he left, and again, it dwindles. So we are not an acharya that we are going to be reestablishing the principle and all, but at least we can do it in a small scale. We can try to protect at least our organization that we live 100% according to Prabhupada's instructions, and we quote from his books like this, everything is the basis, books are the basis. So that is very strongly, established. So ISKM is trying to do that. Are we going to be changing the whole ISKCON, saving everybody? And I don't know. Krishna willing, but at least if we can have a few sincere devotee and perform our devotional service and give a fight, at least, I don't mind fighting. At least I would have fought. I might not be successful, but at least I would have tried before I die. And that at least on my death, my deathbed, I will know that, okay, at least I gave a good fight. I tried to establish Prabhupada's movement as it is, or to fight for it. So that will have gone to my credit. Are we going to be successful? I don't know. I'm not so much concerned about that, because this is Krishna's doing. It's him who decides, who establishes the results.
Okay. And one second question that I have. So before I actually thought of joining this ISKM thing, separated from ISKCON, is I actually extensively gone through the video lectures of this Ritvik system and this two-third. So I first, understood this thing. I spent around a week going through your videos, ISKM TV and all videos. And then I was convinced, and that's how I, moved into this part rather than choosing ISKCON. But now, second thing is that like nearest ISKCON Mandir for me is at Kolkata, okay, which is very far from here. But the nearest temple, Sri Krishna temple, which is ISKCON Birchandapur, which is around 20 kilometers. So, I mean, what I'm asking is, so associating with the devotees in ISKCON is a separate thing. Visiting the temple for that spiritual thing, I mean, just visiting the for darshan.
But Prabhupada told us, that our house should be a temple. Right? Our house should be a temple first of all. Okay. So there's no, we should transform our house so that it feels the same as going to the mandir. Because of course, Indians are very pious. This is in the culture to go and visit temples, and maybe that's something that are you married, Prabhu? You have wife and children?
No, I'm single. I just graduated this year.
Okay. Oh, okay. So you don't have a wife. So sometimes the wife, they like to, let us go see the deity at the mandir and things like that. So that might be an impetus. But since you're alone, you're young, there's no need for you to actually do. Of course, you can go have darshan of the deities. There's no wrong there. But the thing is, be very careful not to associate with devotees there, because they, as we said, they cannot discriminate properly. It's not that we are against them. That's the misconception. They think that because we criticize, we're against them. No, this is a real friend. If I start to do drug, and a real friend is going to come in my face and say, "What are you doing, you rascal? You're destroying your life. You inject yourself with these drugs and all. You're destroying yourself. What are you doing?" And to the point of dragging the friend by the hair, that's a real friend. Someone who's next to you, and don't criticize him. He likes to do that. That's all right. Let him do it. So we criticize with the view that they will change. They will realize the offenses that are being committed. So, but they lack this discrimination in ISKCON. And if you go there and you hear from them, the way they'll get you is through feelings, emotions. Prabhu, this sannyasi has been serving Prabhupada for 50 years, every year, every day he's here, they'll speak like that. And then you start to be bewildered. Yeah, it's true. Why these Ritviks are so hard at criticizing and things like that. And you slowly start to stop seeing things through Prabhupada's books, Instead, you start to, I trust my eyes. I trust my ears. I trust my mind, my heart, which is the mind, actually. It's not the heart. So that's why be careful. If you want to go in and out, have darshan, maybe bow down to Prabhupada and go out, chant, that's all right. But your house should be a mandir. I practically never stepped into, of course, I was born in the movement. When I was young, I was going to ISKCON temple. But after I accepted this Ritvik system of initiation, I stepped, I think, once in a ISKCON temple in my whole life. That's all. I always try to make my house a temple. Like I put as many pictures as possible, Prabhupada, Krishna. I always put Prabhupada bhajan playing always. And I have, of course, I'm initiated, so I worship the deity. Deity worship is so powerful. We should all be worshiping the deity, And I've got my little deities. I'm worshiping the deity like that. And reading Prabhupada books, so my house feels like a temple. And if you want devotee association, well, this is it. We've got this group, like this Dimitri Prabhu. He's in some corner of Russia. He's there, but he's surviving with this group. This Sami Prabhu, same thing. He's in a corner in the country where the sun is always up or always down. In Finland, so he's surviving somehow because of this group. So try to take advantage of this group and reveal your mind, and slowly Krishna will help make arrangement for you to get more association like that. So you want to go to ISKCON temple, see the deity, that's all right, but go see the deity, go see Krishna there. Don't go there to try to get association. That will not be good for your spiritual life. And when you have doubts, you can ask questions in the group, or you can contact me directly, or like that. We're making a new video soon that's going to be out, that's going to be good also, that you can watch like that. So, and don't run away from us without trying to solve out your doubts, because unfortunately, many people, they start to accept the Ritvic philosophy, and somehow they hear some ISKCON devotees speaking the sentimental stuff, and they become bewildered, and they leave without even trying to clear their doubts. Don't do that. If you have doubts at one point, we can always discuss openly.
Right.
And if you bring a good argument, then it'll be my pleasure to counteract it and to show you according to Prabhupada. Look, Prabhupada is saying here like that. So at least you know that it's Prabhupada. I'll never tell you my opinion. That's not how we work in ISKCON. In ISKCON, they'll give you arguments, but they won't show you where Prabhupada has given this argument, or as because your starting point is Prabhupada is a pure devotee, Mahabhagavata. So that you can be 100% sure. If you're not sure of that, then there's a big problem. You should work on this first. But if you're convinced that yes, Prabhupada, he's an empowered acharya, he's so do you start with this? Then you know that what he says is right. So when he says in the purport of Madhya Lila 24:330 that only a Mahabhagavata can be a spiritual master, that is there. These are his words. But we go on the Shastric Advisory Committee, SAC of ISKCON. They recommend at least Nishta platform, which is like Madhyamadikari platform. So they recommend a Madhyamadikari as spiritual master. But Prabhupada says only Uttamadikari. So if you just use your critical thinking, well, Prabhupada says like that, and this is wrong. So you know who's right, who's wrong.
Right.
So there's no confusion. And that's the distinction between a neophyte and a Madhyamadikari. This is why in ISKCON we understand things very easily, because we have got faith in Shastra. That's all. We've got faith in Prabhupada, and we've got faith in Shastra. So when there's something that arises, some confusion, okay, what does Prabhupada says in his books? Boom, that's it. That's the conclusion. Maybe now they might appear to be some contradiction somewhere. Who knows? Then you study more under the guidance of a more advanced devotee. And okay, this is why. This is the reason. And now I know, I'm sure. You see, this is a big distinction. And you will see, just like I've done this reel about Radhanath Swami, and Prabhupada clearly says we shouldn't play with any other instruments. And although I've put this quote of Prabhupada, it's there. One Mataji saying, what is wrong with playing other instruments? She's a ISKCON devotee. What? Right. So at that point, what do you want me to say? It's finished. I cannot help you. I'm putting Prabhupada's words here, and you're reading the quote, and you're still telling me what is wrong with playing. Then, that's it. I've done my job. I'm a delivery man. You don't want the package, and that's not my problem. So there's this verse here that speaks exactly what's happening. A Prakrita or materialistic devotee does not purposefully study the Shastra and try to understand the actual standard of pure devotional service. The whole problem is here in these two lines. They're not serious about studying Prabhupada books and trying to understand the standard of pure devotional service. Shuddha Bhakti, not just devotional service. Devotional service can be classified. Kapila Dev in the 3rd canto, chapter 29, he classifies devotional service in the mode of ignorance, in the mode of passion, in the mode of goodness, and Shuddha Bhakti. And mode of ignorance, passion, and goodness is not going to bring you back to Krishna. You cannot develop pure love. So we should understand what are the distinctions. And this is why we're criticizing. Because although what they're doing can be classified, if you want, as devotional service, it's in the mode of ignorance or in the mode of passion. So we must point out, Consequently, he does not show proper respect to advanced devotees. You see, just like they're gonna be criticizing His Grace Sundar Gopal Prabhu. Oh, he only finds fault and this and that, and so they criticize the advanced devotee, and they actually will promote some offender. They will praise the offender as being a Mahabhagavata. So no heads or tail. He may, however, follow the regulative principles learned from his spiritual master or from his family who worships the deity. He is to be considered on the material platform. Although he's trying to advance in devotional service, such a person is a Bhakta Praya, neophyte devotee, or Bhakta Abhas, for he is little enlightened by the Vaishnava philosophy. They have little knowledge. You know, they cannot conclusively answer a question according to Prabhupada's books. They cannot. It's always, you know, I've seen like a question asked. There was 3 gurus sitting there in their chairs. There's one very basic question that was asked, and they were like looking at each other, and then one of them started to speak, la 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 la, and so much speculation was there. But in ISKM, the question that this devotee asked, I pull out one purport, one verse, finish. Here's your answer. There's no need to talk like some 30 minutes about it. Here's your answer. That's it. Now we can elaborate on that. We can show other verses or, you know, speak our realizations. But at least Siddhanta is being presented from the very beginning, you know. So that's the distinction between ISKM and ISKCON. So the more you associate, if you start to see a distinction, that's a good sign, because that means you're starting to make the difference between, you know, neophyte mentality and, you know, more advanced. So that's good, you know. But always we are at your service. So, you know, you have any questions or anything, you can always ask.
Fun fact is, I actually was interested about this devotional service, Krishna consciousness, from this channel, Yoga of Love and Amog Livla Prabhu. I think he posted his video on My Ashray or some YouTube channels like that. But then what, your video was recommended just beneath it, right? So I actually clicked on that, and that's how I came to know the difference. I mean, then there the research starts. Like this, what is the Ridvik system, two-third system, and who is just talking out of ear, and that's where the core thing. I kept on exploring your videos. Then I came to ISKM TV, understood the connection, and that's where I interested. And last day I joined this His Grace Prabhu Sundar Prabhu's
Prabhu Friday yesterday. Oh, nice, happy, very happy. So may I ask which video was recommended that you clicked on?
The video where he says the pure devotions like this Raja Daksha and
fell down, right?
Fell down, yeah.
So exactly, you see. So Prabhupada is clearly saying that of a devotee who used Brahma as an example, Prabhupada chastised that, and he say, rascals say that. I mean, you are quoting Brahma. You know, Brahma is the creator of a universe. We have got no brain to understand his position even. You know, and he's quoting him in order to justify the fact that those little puny souls that are falling with having illicit sex with men and women, because that occurred, right? Like, I mean, we're not going to get into this whole thing, but there was some illicit sex, there was some raping of children, there was so, you know, very, very disgusting thing occurred. So you're going to be quoting the creator of our universe to justify this very disgusting things happening. So, and then he quotes Daksha. Daksha is not a pure devotee, he's a materialistic. And he quotes Durvasa. Durvasa is a great yogi. He's also already fallen because he's an offender, you know. So you can see he doesn't know what is a real devotee, and he doesn't know that actually Prabhupada in so many places in the books, you know, he in the longer version of that video will be showing so many places where Prabhupada says it's impossible to fall down for a pure devotee. Someone who is, especially someone who is sent by Krishna. You think that someone is going to send his pure devotee to save the conditioned soul, and he's not going to save him from fall down? You think that Krishna is such a, you know, right? So someone who comes from the spiritual world to reclaim fallen souls, there's no way he's going to fall down. There's just no, it doesn't make sense at all, because it's Krishna's energy. We're not speaking that there's 2 gods here. There's only one God. So if someone falls down, it's Krishna making him fall down. Of course, according to that person's desire, you know. But my point is that Krishna is in full control here. So he's not going to be, you know, sending someone to the material world and not fully protecting him. Of course, he's going to bring him back, you know. So these deviations are there. So I'm happy, you know, I'm very happy because
And
these shorts I've been doing recently, and now you've come through this. So
Mhm.
that means, you know.
And honestly, I was stunned when he quotes that Srila Prabhupada was never given Diksha or was never made Guru
Yeah,
by
authorized.
Saraswati Thakur.
Because
But
his argument is like this,
right,
is that there's no need for the spiritual master to formally say
formally,
to the
right.
next that you are our guru. So therefore he's saying Bhaktisiddhanta never formally said to Prabhupada.
Right.
But Prabhupada is clearly saying, look, these things that I don't have to discuss with you, you know.
Discuss with you. Hmm.
Yeah, it's not like a cheap thing that I have to tell you, oh yeah, on May 29, he told me, like, you know, who are you to hear these
Ask.
things anyway? Who are you to ask even, you know, that did Prabhupada appointed? And Prabhupada clearly chastised that Indian man, right?
Indian
When
man.
did he appoint you? Prabhupada says it's not your business. But what you should know is that a spiritual master cannot become spiritual unless he is authorized by his guru. That much.
Right.
Now you might not understand what that means. That's not, that's another
My
thing.
business.
But that much you should stop there. That's all. You know, don't go beyond your limits. And this Ishvara Gauranga Das, he went beyond his limits. You know, there's no one single document, not single da 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 da. You know, what are you talking about? Why are you speaking about the Acharya's doing? You know, you are concerned about your eating and sleeping, and you know, and you're going to be discussing about parampara system, please. So
Since then, I absolutely stopped watching those because they factually they're wrong. I mean, they haven't even gone through this thing, and they just keep quoting something out of thin air, making up things. So,
yes,
yeah, that's where my faith actually on this, that everything that's here is being quoted from somewhere genuine. That was the catch thing. And
yes,
that's why I actually moved from there. Or else the influence of ISKCON in West Bengal or in India is so much that if you talk this to someone who is a devotee there, they're not going to accept it. It's very hard.
yes, fanaticism. This is not Vaishnavism. Vaishnavism is broad, very broad mind. You want to discuss something, we can discuss. But those who are, you know, narrow-minded people, no, this is how it is, no. And without any, you know, logic, only my feeling. Guru Maharaj, this is fanaticism, you know. And when that creeps in religions, it's very destroying, just like Islam, right? Fanatics, Allah Akbar, boom, killing, you know, hundreds of people. So same thing in ISKCON, you know, you offend my Guru Maharaj, I'll kill you, you know. Then how can I say? And don't think that there's no people, there is people like that, you know. His Grace Sundar Prabhu, he was preaching in Bangladesh, and not Bengal, Bangladesh, and there were some gundas that were trying to kill him, some disciples of some gurus, you know. So this is coming in our movement. Why? Because we have given up Prabhupada's shelter. What is that? His books. Prabhupada said books are the basis. You have to come back to the books. If you stand on the teachings of Prabhupada, then you have a firm foundation. But if you're not, then you don't know where is north, where is south, you know, you don't know nothing.
Right.
Okay, so thank you so much for joining. And now you're in the ISKM Vaishnava Sangha group, right?
Right.
Good, very happy. So if you have anything, you know, you can let us know. And try to join the chanting sessions. There are always some chanting sessions going on, reading sessions also. Who is doing the reading sessions recently? Sami Prabhu or Dimitri Prabhu? Who's running those?
I've been doing them, Prabhu.
Okay, you still doing every day, is it? Or?
Yes, Prabhu. There was two days pause because I had to carry the stuff, but yesterday we continued.
Okay.
Yeah.
So usually, what was the time? Does anyone remember the Indian time by memory?
8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. 8 p.m. 7:30 to 8 p.m. usually starts.
Okay.
Yeah.
7:30 to 8 p.m.
Join these. PM? Is it PM Indian time?
PM, Prabhu. Evening.
Evening. Okay. So you can join these like this. You'll develop a bond with those devotees. You know, all these young devotees are very sincere. They're very enthusiastic. And as I said, even though they're alone in their house somewhere in some country, they are surviving, and they're not just surviving, they're advancing spiritually simply because of this kind of association online. So we have to take advantage of this, you know. And also, I'm in the group too. You can contact me directly if you want, you know, if you have any questions. It'll be my pleasure to answer.
Sure, Prabhu. Thank you. Thank you very much, actually.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So anyone has anything else to say before we
Yes,
wrap up?
Prabhu. Actually, I have a question, Prabhu. So you were discussing that everyone must like quote from Prabhupada's books and everything must be explained from Shastra and from Prabhupada's conversations without any tinge of emotional attachment or some kind of feelings. So how to come to this position wherein everything is straightforward. There is no mixing of any. I mean, I don't know how to explain it, but you understand my question, right, Prabhu?
How to get to this position, you're saying?
No, I was asking how to how to develop that mindset that, okay, everything must be only from Prabhupada's books and,
Yeah.
there should be no tinge of some emotional feelings or sentiment or something like this.
Yeah. So as you hear from devotees who have this faith, and as you follow the instructions of Prabhupada, you will develop that faith more and more. So it's important that we hear from devotees who are situated in that standard. Like this, we get convinced. You know, the whole process is hearing from the right person, right? So if you hear from the right person who has got this conviction, that person is going to be able to convince you. As a bona fide representative of Prabhupada, he will be able to clear your doubts, you know. So in this way, your faith will increase. And also, as you follow strictly the instructions of Prabhupada, you will see that, yes, it is working. Prabhupada would bless you more and more, you know, because ultimately, it's all based on faith. Yasya deve para bhakti yatate tata gurao. So as you have faith in Prabhupada and Krishna, that much your realization will come. It's proportionately. The more you have faith, the more realization will come. The more Krishna will reveal himself to you, you know. So, and you have to see, Prabhu, you have to analyze when you see that those who don't follow Prabhupada's standard, they don't follow the instructions, how they speak, you know, what is their standard. So many things, like here in Australia, there was some brahmachari, they go out on Harinam Sankirtan, they bring back the money and they use it for prostitute. So you have to see why is these things is happening, right? That means they're disconnected. So they can keep the Sikha, they can have the Tilak, the Japamala, all these things, but the heart is not purified. So it's about the heart. So therefore, you must stop hearing from non-devotees and neophyte devotees. You should only hear from advanced devotees. The more you hear, the more you follow their instructions, which are Prabhupada instructions, actually, then your faith will increase. It's the whole process. It's all about increasing faith, you know. This whole Adav Shraddha Tata Sadhu Sangha Bhajana Kriya Narta Nivrittisya Tatu Nishta, you know, the whole stages of spiritual advancement. So this Shraddha in the beginning is like this. But as you progress, it increases and increases and increases and increases, you know. Even a Madhyamadhyakari is not situated in pure faith, because Madhyamadhyakari also does not have 100% faith that Krishna and Krishna's name are the same. He doesn't have 100% faith that Krishna and Krishna's murti is the same. You see, these realizations belong to the Uttamadhikari. So that's it. We have to purify. And as we progress more, we hear from Prabhupada more and more, then we are also associating with him and we become more convinced. So keep hearing from devotees who are preachers, who are serious preachers. Then you will develop this faith, you know. Because where else are you going to go anyway for knowledge? Where else can we get knowledge in this world? Really, about anything. Even about cleanliness, you know, what we thought was clean before is all wrong. Prabhupada has taught us that, you know, isn't it? Like these people,
Yes.
they say this is clean, this is dirty. How do you know that? Everything should be from Prabhupada. Without Prabhupada, we're blind, completely blind in every aspects of life.
Actually, Prabhu, I have one more question. If I can I ask you that question also here?
Yes, please go ahead.
Like actually, Prabhu, like I started Krishna consciousness like last year, and I mean I bought the Bhagavatams. I mean, first book was Bhagavatam. That was a little bit mistake actually, but I read it, and then after like a month or two, I started listening to ISKM lectures. So for like 6 or 7 months, I was listening to like lectures daily for like 3 hours, 4 hours, sometimes 6 hours daily. like without fail. But the problem was, in the name of listening to lectures, I would just walk around my hostel, not study, not do anything, just listen to lectures and come back and sleep. But the problem was I lost my reading habit. So now if I have to sit in one place and open the book and read, I can maximum read for like 45 minutes to maybe 1 hour. And after that, I get a little bit, I don't know, something happens. So
Well,
how do
that's
I recultivate this reading habit instead of just hearing all the time?
already pretty good, if you ask me. 45 minutes to 1 hour, that's nice. But Prabhupada said the taste will be developed by force. If you force yourself to read, it will develop. That's all. There's no other way to it. Prabhupada says if you want to develop this taste for reading, you must force yourself to read. And it will act just like jaundice, right? Prabhupada always gives his example from the Nectar of Instruction is there. That someone who's got jaundice, he tastes the sugar candy as bitter. The sugar candy itself is the cure for jaundice. So the more he's forcing, bitter, I don't like, but he keeps in his mouth, then it will become sweet. And once it's sweet, you don't need to convince yourself to take it. It's pleasurable. So reading, if you force yourself that now it's 8 p.m., I'll read until 9 p.m. or until 9:30 like that. I'll just do it. So by force like that, you'll be able. But if you try to mix fire and water together, then yeah, it won't spark. And what is this water? Sense gratification. So if you eat outside food, then you won't develop the taste. If you associate with worldly minded people, right, who always talk nonsense, then how to get the taste? Because when we engage in sense gratification, our Krishna conscious pleasure, attraction and bliss that we developed by performing bhakti will go down more and more. So it's by force, Prabhu. You just sit down and read and force yourself. But you're saying 45 to 1 hour. That's already a good standard. Most devotees
No,
don't
Prabhu,
read
not,
that.
not every day, Prabhu. Actually, like, I don't know, for a few days I have not been reading. I mean, not a few days, for a few weeks, actually. I've been
So-
hearing but not reading. So
But
should I reduce
hearing, fundamentally speaking, there's no difference between hearing and reading, fundamentally, because Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya means hearing from the devotees or reading in the Bhagavatam, two things. So, and the devotees, they speak classes that are strictly on Srila Prabhupada's books. So that's it. But the thing is, when you read Prabhupada books, then you associate with him directly. So of course that should be there too. But it's good as long as you keep somehow either hear or read, you're okay. That's fine. But if you feel that you want to rekindle your taste for reading Prabhupada books, then you just do it by force. Just don't listen to the mind. Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Thakur, right? When you wake up, you beat with a broom or a shoe, and when you go to bed, you beat with a shoe. What does that mean? It means when you know you have to do something and your mind is still giving you excuses, don't listen to the mind and just do it. That is beating the mind. So now you know that to rekindle your taste for reading, you have to sit down and read. So just do it. There shouldn't be anything. Why should you not do it? You beat the mind. You just do it. You sit down and do it.
All
right.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay, there's a hand. Harish Kumar, Bhakta Harish Kumar.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. My mother is initiated by Jayapataka Swami. Actually, I'm trying to convince her that she's not the guru, but she is not unable to accept these things. So how can I manage to convince her?
For now, don't talk about this to her. For now, you play the positive side. You just praise Prabhupada. You just talk about Prabhupada. Praise about Prabhupada. Prabhupada is, great Acharya. Prabhupada is a pure devotee, like that. Okay, because you'll be disturbing her, and you yourself become convinced of the philosophy, the whole philosophy that surrounds, Shuddha Bhakti, pure devotee, Acharya, all these things. Study the matter very deeply yourself so that you become more and more convinced and progress spiritually. You'll become stronger and stronger. And with your spiritual strength, you'll be able to help your mother. Not simply by saying Jayapataka Swami, because, she's initiated, she's got strong attachment for him. So obviously, if you try to shake the whole boat, and she's got friends that are his disciples, and she's got acquaintance, and probably she goes to the temple, and it's too much to just in one go, So, but if you become strong, at least, that is the beginning. So focus on yourself first. And if you want to help your mother, talk to her, then yeah, just tell her, speak about Prabhupada, read Prabhupada books. You should tell that to your mother. Read Prabhupada books, Are you reading, Mama? Are you reading the Bhagavad Gita? Have you finished Bhagavad Gita even? It's rare. Devotees that read, it's already rare. Women that read, it's even more rare, So if she can start to read more of Prabhupada books, Prabhupada will speak to her. Because after all, what can we do? Right? We cannot convince anybody of anything. It's Prabhupada who's going to convince ultimately. So if you have her hear more from Prabhupada, you can put lectures, in the house when she's cooking or something, just put a lecture near her, bring a Bluetooth speaker, put a lecture of Prabhupada. I think she will like it anyway, and Prabhupada will speak to her. And your mother must be sincere soul, so Prabhupada will speak to her sincerely. Of course, Prabhupada never speak unsincerely, but my point is that if she's receptive, then Prabhupada will speak to her nicely,
Yeah, sure. You're right. Thank you so much.
Yes. And always keep in touch with us, let us know as you progress.
Yes, sir. Sure. Thank you so much.
Okay, anything else before we wrap
Yes,
up?
Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I have one more question, Prabhu. Can I ask you?
I think Harshish Prabhu had a question. He was raising his hand for a few minutes, 3 minutes.
I think it was just now we answered, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
No, it was another person.
Is it? Okay,
His name
who was raising the hand just now?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I was raising my
Harshit
hand.
Prabhu. Hare Krishna, yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. So
Take some
Prabhuji,
humble obeisances. Jai Shri Prabhu.
so I was saying there are 4 regulative principles. One of them is like intoxication. So I think I'm doing one of them. How I will explain. So currently I'm suffering from mental disorder or something, and I have to take some antipsychotics and anticonvulsants for my bipolar and other anxiety and other sort of mental disorders. So the doctor said, if you don't take these medicines, you will become like a killer or something and act impulsively. And I actually felt that. So Prabhuji, should I take the medicines while chanting? Because sometimes I chant 16 rounds, but I've reduced to 4 rounds, so I don't make any offense while taking the medicines.
No. Don't reduce. This is not the proper philosophy that by reduce, I will commit offense, so I should not chant much. We are all offenders. So when we chant, of course there will be offenses. That's not, but it's by the chanting, the more we chant, that we are going to be purifying ourselves. So the more we chant, the more we will become, reach offenseless chanting and slowly, gradually appear towards, complete pure chanting. So you should never diminish your 16 rounds. But do you feel, when you take this medicine, do you feel it hard to complete your rounds, or is when you don't take the medicine?
Probably actually when I don't take medicines, I'm able to chant even 20 plus rounds, because there is one antipsychotic there which doesn't let me think spiritually. So actually the antipsychotic disables the spiritual thinking, and I'm faithless after taking medicines. So this is what I have experienced now. Those antipsychotics are very much dangerous.
When you
So
take the medicine,
so
when you take the medicine, it makes you not capable of finishing 16 rounds, is it?
yes, actually, yes, it becomes little difficult.
Okay, first, I just want to show you this. This is Srimad Bhagavatam 6.3.24 in the purport. So we have here, this is by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, also quotes this verse from Padma Purana. Namaparada yuktanam namanyeva harantyagham avishranti prayuktani tanyevarta karanicha. So even if in the beginning one chants the Hare Krishna Maha mantra with offenses, one will become free from such offenses by chanting again and again. You see? So papakshayascha bhavati smaratam tam maharnisham. One becomes free from all sinful reaction if one chants day and night following the recommendation of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in this age, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare, in this age of queller and hypocrisy, the only means for deliverance is chanting the holy name. There's no other way, no other way, no other way. So that's it. So don't worry about offense. We all start from there. Now, when you don't take your medicine, do you feel like you can function in society?
Actually, like sometimes I don't respect people, and I like mind jumps like a monkey, like one thought to another. And sometimes I act upon these thoughts, and it actually happened a year ago. But now the situation is very cool now. The medicines actually have, the doctor said like these medicines will continue to like 2 or 3 years more, and you will be okay. I actually said to him,
one thing though is that we cannot trust this modern science, you know. That's one thing. Now, if you feel better and you feel that you cannot function if you take these medicines, of course, I'm not going to recommend you to stop, but maybe you can try to see by diminishing the dosage, you know, is it pills? It's like a number of pills that you
yes,
take?
he was saying like we will reduce the dosage when you are like completely okay, and we will gradually stop. He was
Well,
saying that.
you try on your own, try to reduce the dosage on your own and see, you know, how many is enough for you to be able to function and to be able to chant your rounds also. Because chanting is really what's going to be helping you, you know, because this chanting means what? Chetodarpana Marjana is going to clean your mind more and more. So obviously, as you progress and you clean your mind more and more, you'll be able to control your mind better, you know? So, but of course, you know, we all have different karmic background. So yours, when it comes to the mind, might be heavier than others. So continue taking your medicine, but you should test out, you know, by reducing and try to increase the rounds like that, how much you can do, you know. And also another thing is that you should eat Krishna Prasadam, because that is also very much polluting to the mind. Eating outside food means I'm gonna eat food cooked by karmis or whatever, and I will take their qualities. You know that? This is very subtle, but it works like that. So you
Yes,
should make an arrangement. Yeah. So what food do you eat? Who's cooking for you?
Prabhuji, actually, I cook my own food. So what was happening, like before I was like cooking Krishna Prasadam, but I think like Prabhupada said, like you are not allowed to cook for a spiritual master without taking initiation. So
Yeah, so well, never mind. You know, Krishna is also not a impractical person, right? So if you cook, you know, the best with as much sincerity as you can, and you offer to Prabhupada's picture, you keep Prabhupada, you know, Prabhupada and Gauranga. So Prabhupada and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the form of the Lord that is saving us actually. Krishna directly, we have no chance. We can only become devotee in this age of Kali because of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So if you have Prabhupada and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who's the Patita Pavan, he's saving the most fallen, which is us, then there, you know, because you're sincere, trying to progress spiritually, he will help. He will see your endeavor. Nothing goes to waste in Krishna consciousness, nothing. So you should not think that I'm doing this endeavor of cooking and offering and that there's no fruits. No, there will be some results by doing so, you know. So you do the best you can, and Krishna will help you to slowly, help you out, you know, out of this. You're fairly new in Krishna consciousness, so give yourself some time, okay? And continue with your medicine, but test yourself out. That maybe if it's 5 pills, maybe go to 4 pills, you know, and see how that goes, or then 3 pills like this, you know. Don't necessarily follow the doctor's advice. They don't know what is what actually, you know. They
yeah,
might have.
Prabhuji, actually, he was like saying like illicit is good for you, and I was like shocked. But same time, I had to take medicines. Like I was like
Yeah,
shocked.
these people, these crazy fellows, you know. I had some problems some time ago in the Philippines. I had some crazy migraine, you know. For 1 month, my whole brain was like pulsing, so much pressure in my sinuses and all. I went to the doctor. They gave me so much medicine. They did the MRI scan of my brain, so many things, and they told me you're perfectly fine. If I'm fine, sir, why is my brain exploding like that? You know, they could not cure me. Then I did some little research about, you know, the sinus infection, and I found this natural spray, and I cured myself within, you know, a few days. So it's very, you know, you're not gonna be finding some real scholars amongst them. They follow the book, right? They have this book and sell this medicine, sell this medicine, sell this medicine. So it's a whole gimmick under all these big companies, right? Pfizer and all these people that make those medicine. They want to make money. If they cure you, how are they gonna make money? So you should try to avoid the mode of passion and ignorance and be situated in goodness. Where do you live?
Yes, actually, Prabhuji, I live in Delhi. Like it's 3 hours away from Vrindavan. I keep visiting there.
Yeah. So Delhi must be a nutcase place, right? I mean, so much, so loud, so many people and all these things. So you work, is it?
No, Prabhuji, actually, I'm like student. I'm like 22 years old. So I
Oh,
used to work,
you still
but
studying,
yeah.
but you said you just graduated, is it?
Actually, I have like dropped the college. Actually,
Oh, not yet.
due
Not okay.
the same
So you
mind problem, I left the college and I joined Krishna consciousness, and I actually
okay? So
progressed so
now
far.
you live with your
And
parents?
yes, I live with my mother, and like I have a separate room where I can practice like meditation, etc., and sort of things. So there is no disturbance from the family.
Okay, so that's good. That's good. Continue doing this and continue associating with our group like that. And if you have time, you can go to Vrindavan maybe. That would be. You've been already? I presume, right?
Yes, actually, I know some of the ISKCON devotees as well. Like one of them was saying, like I don't mean to disrespect any of them, but some of them was saying a guru from ISKCON is like a Nitya Siddha. I was like shocked, like how it can be possible.
Yeah, Nitya Siddha, who was born and did drugs before, right? Doesn't make sense. Like Prabhupada says, a spiritual master is in the parampara system since time eternal, and he does not deviate an inch from the instruction. But these gurus in ISKCON, they were all hippies before. They were having illicit sex, and so how they can say Nitya Siddha? This is again, Anyway, that's again the former topic. But for you, you can go to Vrindavan. How do you feel in Vrindavan? Does your mind feel better?
Yes, actually, like I feel like it's home. Actually, it's a very cool place, and like I can stay for long. But like I don't stay there for long. There are some certain rules, like actually above higher plane, like spiritual rules. Like you can be punished or you can do some offense. So like I keep my safe side and get away soon. Like
Well,
I
that's
usually
good. That's a good mentality because you keep respect for the Dham. Prabhupada said we should make visits there, not live there. So, but you can do that on a regular basis. Let's say every 2 months you go there for 1 week, like that. That will be good. But don't worry about the offense if you're sincere, because yes, offenses are greater there. But if you chant Hare Krishna, it's also very much greater there. 1 round there equates 1,000 round. Can you imagine? 1 round in Vrindavan is 1,000 round. So it's very, very potent. So definitely it's going to be helping you out if you go there on a regular basis.
yeah, Prabhuji. Thank you very much for answering the questions.
Yeah.
Like, my humble
And also, there's this, Abhishek Sharma is saying, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, you can see Ayurveda doctor and can take Ayurveda medicine along with your medicine and can slowly reduce your allopathic medicine. Yeah, that's an alternative, also Ayurvedic doctor, but you would have to find someone who's, qualified, and maybe you can somehow or other start to switch from this Western medicine to Ayurvedic. One thing, when it comes to all this nervous system, because the mind, is you're feeling anxiety and all. It's good to take bath in flowing rivers. Ayurveda recommends that for all the nervous problem, to take bath in flowing rivers and just relax, let the water flow through you. I think this is one of the things. Anyway, I'm not a doctor, but I've read that. Prabhupada mentioned that actually. Okay, so you keep in touch with us. Try to keep in touch. You can keep in touch with me directly or with some of the other Prabhujis who are here. And please let us know of your condition. We're here to offer whatever service or help we can do, And you keep in constant touch. You inform us of how you feel. If you feel very down or something, then you contact us directly. You can call us also,
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you so much. Like I feel grateful and thanks to Prabhupada,
Yes,
like who
yes.
directed me
We're
there.
trying to all be a part of the same family here. So family means helping one another. So don't become silent. Don't just stop. I mean, my point is don't suffer in silence. Okay? If you feel some suffering one day, you try to contact one of us. Okay?
All right, Prabhuji, like thanks so much. I
Yes.
can't thank you enough.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Hare
Please
Krishna.
accept. I'm gonna be sincere again. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Jai Jai Shri Prabhupada. Okay, I think we're wrapping up a bit. Dimitri Prabhu quoted a few verses in the chat. Yeah. Should Bees after nectar only. Yeah. Prabhu, please help to understand Antya 13:133. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says we can criticize. So only a pure devotee can be like Raghunath Bhatt and we shouldn't imitate. Like recently you said we should be like bees after nectar only. Yeah, okay, so bees after nectar means amongst devotees, you know, and amongst innocent people. We should, first of all, the bee mentality as to see only the good in others should be applied to especially the devotees, and we can start to see in those who are innocent also, but not in the envious. Don't try to be like a bee in the envious, because you know, that's not for us. Those who are envious of Shri Prabhupada and envious of Krishna, we should be angry at them, and that's part of the limbs of devotional service. You know, Hanuman did not say like I have to see the good in Ravan. No, he was saying let me go there, jump and kill him immediately. You know, even Sugriva said like that to Lord Rama. I can see Ravan from here. I'll just jump there, and you know, and actually I think he did so, right? He could not control himself. He went there, he knocked out his 10 crowns, and he came back. So anger can be used for Krishna, and that's going to help us advance spiritually also. So anger should be used for those who are offending Prabhupada. But the B, it's especially with the devotees. We should not find fault with devotees, real devotees, huh? Not hodgepodge. So with them, we should try to see only the best. Luvish Purswani, again, your hand is raised. You have something. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Yes.
Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila
Prabhupada.
Firstly, I'd like to thank everyone here for supporting me through Bhakti. It's been absolute pleasure associating with all of you. The devotional service is quite steady. I actually was wondering if Nimai Prabhu can share some nice tips on how to remain awake, because I can wake up early in the mornings quite easily, but staying awake after I'm finished with my chanting in the morning is the real challenge. So if you have any tips you can share to remain awake and not feel sleepy, because I'm not a fan of taking a nap or anything.
What is protecting us from falling is actually deity worship. You know, that's the whole point of living in a temple or having deities at home, is that it's regulated. There's some things you have to do at a certain time. Therefore, your lazy mentality of wanting to just slide down, it's checked. Oh, no, I just want, no, you got to go take a shower, get clean, and go do the noon offering like that. So the deity worship is really the way to go. But you know, you're uninitiated and all. So then what to do? You cannot have deities, but you can have picture of Prabhupada and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and you can put some schedule, you know, I offer at this time, I do this at that time. So you should have a schedule every morning that you must follow. So you mold your morning in a way that you're always busy. Because chanting early in the morning when you're alone, at one point you start to do like this, right? And then you're like, oh, the bed is right there. Okay, boom. So you should have something that you're doing. So you wake up, first of all, you should chant, then you should do your little Mangalarti. Are you doing that, Mangalarti?
No, Prabhu. I'm
okay.
sticking with
that should be a part of your day. You should have your Mangal, even if it's simple, incense and flower, let's say. If you offer incense, it's best to offer flower also, according to Hari Bhakti Vilas. So now every day you should make sure that you have flowers to offer. So that's part of your day now, that you should, when you chant, you can have your japa walk, you find a spot where there's some flowers nearby. Every single day you should gather for the next few days like that, or the next day. So you wake up, you chant, of course shower and all, you chant a few rounds, then you do Mangalarti. So you offer incense and flower and you chant the Samsara Dava prayer. If you can play kartals, that would be best. Like this, you know, you have musical instrument, you wake yourself up. Samsara Dava Danali Dalot every single day. Then you do the Narasimha prayer. And if you have Tulsi, do you have a Tulsi plant?
Yes, Prabhu, we have one at home. My
okay,
mother
so you do the Tulsi Arti every day. Tulsi
No, we
Arti
don't.
also.
My mother does a Tulsi Arti, but I don't. But yeah, we have a Tulsi plant and we nurture it.
Yeah, so you do know early in the morning, your mother must still be sleeping at that time, right?
No, my mother is also she's also a devotee, aspiring devotee. She's me and my mother.
Then you do, yeah, you do with her together. Now, okay, if she's your aspiring devotee, then you should tell her, let's do Mangalarti together, let's try, you know. You motivate her so that you and her together can wake up and do Mangalarti together. It's not hard. One of you is pujari, like offering some incense and fly. You can do the whole thing actually, it's not a big thing. You know RT set. You've seen an RT set, right?
Yes, Prabhu. It's that.
You have one?
Yes, Prabhu. We have.
Okay, so every morning you do it. Incense, ghee whip, water and conch, cloth, flour, and then chamara. That's it. So one of you can be pujari and the other one can play kartal and sing the Samsaradava prayer like that. It doesn't take long, you know, like standard in the temple is like 25 minutes. Some temple do 20 minutes, but since you're at home, you can do at least 10 minutes, you know. Samsaradava, then Jai Shri Krishna, and a few Hare Krishna, and that's it. And after that, you can do the Narashimha prayer together. Then you do Tulsi Arti, you water, turn around, and that's it. And after that, you can chant a few rounds with your mother, and then the cooking can start. Then you can start cooking. Or when your mother is cooking, you can go and take a walk. Taking a walk wakes us up also, you know. You can breathe some air, and then you see the sunrise and like that. So you can take a small japa walk, then you come back, and then you can you know, have prasadam, or if you want, you can do the Guru Puja like that if you have Prabhupada. But so every day you should follow the same schedule. If you don't have something that you must do in devotional service, you'll of course you won't want to do anything. You go back to sleep or something. If you feel tired during the day, then you can find some 1 hour time in the afternoon or something to lie down a bit. No, that's all.
So I'm allowed to take a nap even for like 20 minutes
yes,
or so.
Of course.
Yeah,
why
so
not?
sometimes
But
I
your nap should, you know, if you wake up at 4, your nap should not be at 5, right? You
Yes.
get my point. Your
Okay,
nap
okay.
should be like during the day, later on, you know, afternoon, early afternoon, something like that.
Usually the sleepiness kicks in at around 8. If I wake up at
Yes,
5, and then at 8 o'clock, 8 a.m. in the morning, it starts to kick in. That's the
Well,
thing.
that must be because you're not doing much, right? What are you doing at 8?
So I'm chanting so far, and I'm trying to. Sometimes I attend Aarti, sometimes I don't. But yeah, pretty much chanting is the only thing really, Prabhu. I have to also study.
So you're not going to school?
Actually, I have an opportunity to just attend the lectures at home from my university. So sometimes actually I read also. I read a lot actually of Prabhupada's books. I'm a bit of a bookworm, so I like reading. Reading is also one thing that I do. But
That's
yeah,
very
chanting.
good. So you alternate during, try to fill your home with different field of services, meaning, okay, here I am, I sit down, I read. Then maybe I have my mridanga and harmonium there. Then you go sit there and you practice some bhajan, chanting some bhajan and learn some mridanga beats on the internet, you know. And then, okay, it's noontime, I'll go there and start to cook for the Lord like that. Okay, I need some flowers, I'll go out, take a walk and pluck out some flowers. In this way, you rotate between different services throughout the whole day, you know.
Actually,
Now
Prabhu,
it's a class.
it would be very helpful actually if you could send me a nice schedule for Vaishnavas in general, and I can follow that because I have a lot of time on my hands. I'm the kind of person that really is free 24/7. So if I can engage myself in different activities, especially if Vaishnavas in general have a schedule, I would be very happy to adopt that schedule. I just that I don't know at exactly what times Vaishnavas do what. It would be nice if I can have that, and it might motivate me to also advance and fill my day actually.
Okay,
Because
you
I
send
can
me
study
send
from
me a
home.
private message on Telegram or WhatsApp. I'm sorry if something I don't reply so often.
No, it's fine. I understand you're very busy.
Yes, I am somehow I'm struggling even recently, especially this is my WhatsApp here.
Yes,
so
Prabhu.
this is only the one I haven't replied.
Oh, Krishna.
Oh.
As I was thinking, it must be like really, really full of traffic for you for this WhatsApp and Telegram.
Yes, I have a lot. With Telegram, unfortunately, there's no option to put only the message you have. Is there an option? You know, like WhatsApp, right? If you press here, that button, it changes, right? From all conversations to only those that you haven't replied. If you press this here, that I find this extremely useful. Then I can focus on those that I haven't replied yet, you know? So that's that helps me a lot. But on Telegram, I don't have this.
There's an option where you can create a folder and named it unread messages. So all unread messages will go there to that
But is it a smart folder or do I have to do it manually?
You do. I mean, you need to do this once and all these messages will be transferred to this automatically.
Oh, really? Okay, I'll do that because it's very because on Telegram I need to, oops, what is this monkey? I need to like scroll, and then some of the messages like are really, maybe you're seeing one of your name here that I haven't replied. Okay, I think that's it. And that's on top of the comments. The YouTube comments is another big thing also. And Facebook, I almost don't go there, but yeah. Okay, so send me Luvesh Prabhu, send me now I'll remember. So you send me a message, and I'll try to make a schedule for you, you know.
Definitely, Prabhu. Sorry, you may not know me actually because it's my first time interacting with you like this face to face. Maybe I'll just quickly introduce myself and then we go on to the rest of the questions. I don't want to keep people waiting. Actually, I joined Krishna consciousness officially, or not joined, but like I kind of came across the Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita as it is when in 2016, 17, and ever since then I've been reading a lot of Prabhupada's books, and it's only
Very well. Your voice is cutting for me. I don't know for the others.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, it's frozen for me.
years back that I really started applying this knowledge and practicing properly. 2 years, 2.5 years. Yeah. Oh, wait. I think my connection's not stable. Is it? Okay, not stable. So actually, yeah, only 2.5, 3 years ago, I came across ISKM and I was like, yes, this is the real deal, you know. So I completely abandoned ISKCON and join ISKM because wherever Prabhupada is, that's where ISKCON is actually.
Yes.
ISKCON itself is not a separate house. Now, the mainstream ISKCON has actually separated Prabhupada. Therefore, what's ISKCON without Prabhupada? You know, I thought to myself, and I said, okay, I'll just join ISKM and I'll try my very best, sincerely, to big.
Yeah, so Livesh Prabhu is cutting again.
One of
Livesh
those
Prabhu.
soldier devotees that ISKM.
Okay.
Oh,
So that's
sorry.
good. You know, like you're doing the good thing at the moment, you're associating more and more, and so that's nice. And I interacted with you also just now. I saw our conversation on Telegram, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, you send very nice messages. So, so yeah, that's it. So you asked me recently about buying dhotis, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
So yeah. So you are in Austria, is it?
Yes, Linz, Austria. It's actually snowing quite a bit outside.
So it's not that far from I mean, Europe is relatively small, so it's not that far from Sami, right?
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhu.
I think so.
I was thinking this. That's the second devotee from Europe now, so it's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Prabhu.
Good.
I'm actually getting my citizenship in February. Finally, I've been living here for 10 years now.
So then you'll have a Euro passport, right? You can go everywhere, is it?
Yes, Prabhu. And my mother
So
was
since
actually.
you're so free, then you have to go visit Sami.
Yes, Prabhu.
Sami Prabhu.
Definitely.
Yes,
that's
you
the
can
plan.
visit anytime.
Definitely.
Yes,
Thank you
good.
so much, Prabhu. Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, my
So
mother and I were
make
thinking.
Yes, go
Yeah,
ahead.
Prabhu, you can speak. Okay, so my mother and I are actually, sometimes we speak in joking sometimes that sometimes we might open an ISKM temple here for all of you, and you know, you can handle everything. You know, me and my mother sometimes talk about it. So once we are qualified, we can open one here for you guys, and you guys can handle it.
Yeah,
That's
so first things first, yeah, you can go and make a trip to go see Sami Prabhu, you know. If you're so free, you got 24 hours free, then why not make it a thing that you're gonna go visit him soon? I know it must be cold nowadays in December, but I'm sure Sami Prabhu can host you, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
definitely.
Actually, here is many things to do also there, because we have book contacts and we have like everything. We can go do book distribution and all things like this.
So why don't you book a ticket? I guess there's some train maybe that can go there, or a flight or something.
Yes, I think so.
You
Yes,
should-
I think there is. I think there are trains that also go to Finland for sure. I'm pretty sure.
So make it, you know, seriously go on skyscanner.com and try to find a cheap flight or something, and you can at least you'll move around, right? And you'll be with a like-minded devotee, and then you can help one another with the program. As soon as you're two, the program will go on smoothly.
Yes, Prabhu, and also we have Eero Prabhu here, so actually we would be eventually 3.
Yeah, there you go.
Eero
Prabhu is living with you now, or?
He's living in, it's like 200 kilometers or a little bit more, but we were talking that he should try to shift more towards this Tampere side. because his family also has been living here, and they could maybe help with finding some place. And
Okay, yeah, Ero Prabhu, you're here also. Yeah, try to make a visit. Have you met Sami Prabhu physically?
not yet.
Ero Prabhu?
Hare Krishna, not yet.
Hare Krishna, not yet. Okay, make it happen.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes. And Ero Prabhu, I think also I have a message. I had not replied to you on Telegram. I think so. So I'm sorry if, about this. Anyway, so yes, so you're all in Europe. You should try to get closer to one another.
Yes,
Yeah,
Prabhu.
that's
Definitely will try. Actually, when I
okay.
first began my Krishna consciousness, I was in my final year of school, and when I started reading Bhagavad Gita, I started with the introduction. First 5 pages, it was a bit boring. After then 15, 20 pages, I was addicted, so much so to the point where I forgot to study, and the exams were only 2 months away, final exams, and then immediately what happened was I had asthma. Usually, I have usually mild asthma from time to time, but it's not an issue. Anyway, when that happened, I was unable to study. And then immediately coronavirus came and I got my degree. You can see it back there on the wall. That is
Yeah.
that I hung up not
Now,
because it's a degree, but because Krishna, in somehow, because I was so absorbed in reading Bhagavad Gita, I completely forgot about my studies. And Krishna just kind of, I
that's
don't
good.
know, he arranged for me not to have the exams. And I skipped the exams and I got my degree. So that is actually a
You
thanks
have a
to
taste for reading, you know.
Yes,
That
Prabhu,
means
I have too much taste for
you're
reading,
already
actually.
you're
Yeah.
already blessed, you know.
Actually, Prabhu, I have a photographic memory, but I swear it's only for Prabhupada's books. My photographic memory does not work anywhere else. I read something,
That's
it's
a
there. In
blessing.
my head, it sticks. It
Yeah,
sticks.
that's good. That's very good.
Yeah.
I used to not like reading books before. I was not much of a reader, you know. When I came to Prabhupada books, then I started to read much more. So that's good. That's a blessing that to not be very much enthusiastic in reading karmi books, you know.
Nah, Prabhu, I never bother with all those things anyway. It's such a waste of time.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yes,
I'll quickly
thank
also
you.
pass up a question from Sai Karti Prabhu. He actually posted the question, but I don't think he received a reply. So he asks, Prabhu, the deities in ISKCON are not empowered since they are not properly taken care of, right? Due to the bogus unqualified pujaris.
No. We should not think like that. Krishna and Krishna's form are the same. It's Krishna, you know. So we should not think that deity empowered, not empowered. Empowerment is within the devotion of the devotee. That is empowerment. Krishna is Krishna, you know. That you serve him nicely or not, his position is not changed. Not that the deity is no longer Krishna. Then you start to think that Krishna is material, because the form is there. But Krishna is not different from his form. So as soon as the form is there, Krishna is there. How can it not be Krishna? So the deities in the temple in ISKCON are Krishna. But are the devotees reciprocating with Krishna properly? That's the question. You know, Prabhupada said, what is idol worship? Idol worship means when there's no bhav, there's no feelings. You know, you're ringing the bell and you're snoring and you're like, what is this? You know, when would I get my paycheck? You know, and just like that. And you offer the thing, you know, like you don't care. That's idol worship, because you think that you're worshiping a stone. You think the stone is there. But if you worship with feeling, that is Krishna. But idol worship doesn't mean that the idol is no longer Krishna. It's still Krishna, but Krishna is covering you, right? For them, I'm covered by my internal potency, Krishna says. So, okay. So don't
Actually,
think that.
Prabhu,
Yes.
sorry, Prabhu.
Sai Karti Prabhu, go ahead.
Prabhu, I was like thinking about one thing. Like, actually, I was hearing this a lot in Tatvit Prabhu's classes, and even Prahlad Prabhu, I think, mentioned it a few times, that there's a difference between detachment and you can say hatred, like of what's happening around like the material world and so on. So I was thinking that I'm actually not having any detachment, but I'm actually having like a very pessimistic view or a very negative view on what's happening around me, how people are studying exams and then this and that, and how the whole cycle, they just work so hard, this and that, and then they just die. So how can I convert this pessimism to detachment or hatred to detachment?
No, well, that you're seeing the materialistic endeavors of the karmis as very lame and disgusting, and that's good. That is proper vision, you know. But we should also understand that this material world has got some use, and it can be engaged in the Lord's service. So to be convinced that yes, this is all garbage, that is good, because then you're situated, you know, in knowledge. You're seeing things as they are. But at the same time, not so much that, oh, this thing can be used in Krishna, but it's just, you know, it's too much trouble, it's too much garbage, and not like that. There's always, you know, because the material world is, after all, the paraphernalia meant for the Lord's service, but we are not using it like that. So if I become too lazy in doing something that can actually be utilized in the Lord's service, that is false renunciation. But if you're seeing like all the endeavor, the karma is working and this and that, and you're feeling very disgusted with this, that's okay. That's nice. That's a satsanga. You're cutting off your association with them, you know. That's good. You know?
Yes, bro. Actually, like usually when I'm studying or when I have to, I don't study. When I have to study, like I find it very difficult, you know, to even concentrate for like 1 hour or 2 hours, or I just get distracted. But let's say if I'm having, if like some devotee in the group chat, he asks me, and then if I have to send him videos, or if I have to maybe like post certain videos on Spotify, or download certain, or do something related to some sort of service, then I don't get distracted much. Like mostly, like even if it's for 1 hour or 1.5 hours or 2 hours, like my brain doesn't waver. But if I have to sit down and then, like for example, today there's a 3 hour final exam. For the first 1 hour, I was just feeling like sleeping, and it's like a final exam. Like everyone takes it so sincerely, and then I started writing from the second hour. But like if I'm doing anything, any sort of service, it's not like that. It's, you know, like it's more. I can
Yes.
concentrate more.
Because you run on spiritual energy. You know, material energy is, because now you are, you know, that verse from the Bhagavad Gita, right? What is night for all beings is day for the introspective sage, and what is night for the introspective sage is day for all beings. So you're experiencing that, meaning that when those karmias are very much active and their senses are all frivolous like that, and it's something that they enjoy so much, this is night for you. You feel you know, you feel sleepy in those kind of environment. But when you have devotional service, and then your consciousness is awakened, and this is your night, your awakening of consciousness, this is what the karmis would fall asleep. You know, you ask a karmi to come and sit down for 3 hours in this Istagoshti, it would be hell for him, you know, like, let me go have my chips and my, you know, Netflix and like that, you know. So that's good. This is not over discussed. This is not a false renunciation. This is proper renunciation. This is very good.
But I actually have some hate, Prabhu. Like I just thought that, you know, I didn't have hate or something like that. I just thought, you know, maybe I didn't care much.
Hate should be there for the demons. You cannot be freed from hate. Don't try to artificially be freed from hate. Hate should be there for the demons. Prabhupada says, if you want to be envious, you be envious of the demon. You know? Because what is envy? Envy is to feel happy in your displeasure and to feel displeased at seeing your pleasure. So we should not be happy in seeing the demons, you know, become stronger, right? They're more and more happy in their sense gratification. They're becoming more and more stronger. We should not be happy for that. But if they become destroyed, then we should be happy. Just like demigods, every time Krishna kills a demon, what do the demigods do? They shower flower, you know, in the dead demon's body. Yay, yay, they're all happy. So we should be like that. When a demon dies, we should be happy. That's envy, actually. If in the strict sense of the term, this is envying a demon. But that's okay. That's good. Because then your envy or your anger is being properly channelized. You know, but if you become angry at the devotee, then that is very dangerous and envious, you know. But don't try to renounce envy. Don't try to renounce anger. You use it properly in Krishna's service. Everything should be used in Krishna's service. And if you think, no, I have to be like a Buddhist and not be angry and all, then this is false renunciation, and that's a stumbling block for your spiritual advancement.
But Prabhu, this thought only comes when, some sort of important, materially important event is nearby. Like, for example, if my exam is nearby and then I'm like forced to like sit down and then, actually open up my computer and do something, then only this thought comes. But if I'm like just surrounded, like, it's like my campus is like very peaceful. There's all the trees and everything. So if there's like nothing like that, then I'm just like very neutral. I just walk around and here this thought does not come in. But when there's exams or, when someone's like forcing me to do something, then only this thought comes in. So
Yeah, so
what
it's good.
to make about this?
This is, well, you ask me, I would just leave school, leave my parents, enjoy full time. That's what I would do. What are you gonna do? That's the question. You're stuck in this. How many years you have left?
2 years, Prabhu.
So you gotta, I wouldn't be able to tolerate that. You ask me to spend one day in that kind of class environment, I won't do it. The more we become spiritually advanced, the more we don't care for all these social okay, I'll read you something for you from 5th canto, chapter 11, introduction. This is a very important thing. When we advance spiritually, we start to be callous to social interactions, in the sense that because social behavior forces you to act in a specific way under a specific time, isn't it? Right?
Yes, Prabhu.
More you advance spiritually, more you don't care for these things. So this is the Jadabharata instructs King Rahugana. In this chapter, the Brahmana Jadabharata instructs Maharaj Rahugana in detail. He tells the king, you are not very experienced, yet you pose yourself as a learned person because you are very proud of your knowledge. Actually, a person who is on a transcendental platform does not care for social behavior that sacrifices spiritual advancement. You see this? Now you're acting under the pressure of what? Social behavior. I am the son of my parents and I have to go to school and my teacher expects me to do that, and my classmates, when they say something to me, I have to reply and this. But actually, a person who's on the transcendental does not care for social behavior that sacrifices spiritual advancement. Social behavior comes within the jurisdiction of karma kanda, material benefit. No one can spiritually advance by such activities. The conditioned soul is always overpowered by the modes of material nature, and consequently, he is simply concerned with material benefits and auspicious and inauspicious material things. In other words, the mind, which is the leader of the senses, is absorbed in material activities, life after life. Thus, he continuously gets different types of bodies and suffers miserable material condition. So what we're experiencing, it's actually the material entanglement. I have to go to school. I have to sit down here. I have to listen to my teacher. I have to do this. Is because the body is in relationship to all these people. We are acting according to the designation. But if someone is free, he'll stand up, he'll walk out, and he'll never go back to the school. You see, that is freedom, Brahma Bhuta. He's not entangled by all these social behaviors. On the basis of mental concoction, social behavior has been formulated. If one's mind is absorbed in these activities, he certainly remains conditioned within the material world. So this is the proof that we're conditioned, that we have to act in a specific way according to a specific time because of a specific situation. But someone who's liberated, he's not going to care for that. And we see how Jadabharata was acting. We see how his father in his previous life, forgetting the name. What is the instructions? 5 canto, 5th chapter. Who is giving?
Rishabhadev.
Rishabhadev, yeah.
Prabhu,
You see how Rishabhadev did not care about it. Yeah, Rishabhadev. So now Jadabharata is his son. He was his son in the previous life, and he took green. So the same thing. So according to different opinions, there are 11 or 12 mental activities which can be transformed into hundreds and thousands. A person who is not Krishna conscious is subjected to all these mental concoctions and is thus governed by the material energy. This is my wife is saying this, and I have to act accordingly. This is my friend is saying this, I have to react to what he's saying. The living entity who is free from the mental concoctions attains the platform of pure spirit soul, devoid of material contamination. There are two types of living entities, Jivatma and Paramatma. The individual soul and the supreme soul. That supreme soul is, in his ultimate realization, is Lord Vasudeva, Krishna. He enters into everyone's heart and controls the living entity in his different activities. He is therefore the supreme shelter of all living entities. One can understand the Supreme Soul and one's position in relationship with him when one is completely freed from unwanted association of ordinary men. Completely freed of unwanted association. Why should we become these people's servants? When your teacher is telling you why you're skipping class and you react to it, you're his servant. You're still serving that materialistic man. In this way, one becomes fit to cross the ocean of nations. The cause of conditional life is attachment to the external energy. One has to conquer these mental concoctions. Unless one does so, he will never be freed from material anxieties. So what you're feeling is anxiety. You're being forced to do that, forced to do this. So therefore, because you're under the influence of material nature, through the agency of your professor, your friends and classmates, whatever, you feel much anxiety. Although mental concoctions have no value, their influence is still very formidable. No one should neglect to control the mind. If one does, the mind becomes so powerful that one immediately forgets its real position, forgetting that he's an eternal servant of Krishna and that service to Krishna is his only business. That's all. That should be our only business. There shouldn't be anything else. One is doomed by material nature to serve the objects of the senses. One should kill mental concoctions by the sword of service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his devotee, Guru Krishna Prasad Bhai Bhakti Lata Bij. So, one who's actually serious about spiritual life, he will just cut off everything. I finish with this. I finish with this material work, this material school, this material stuff. I just want to be full-time in the temple. So here's your answer. But you have to be strong. You have to be convinced. You have to pray to Krishna to give you the understanding and the strength and the opportunity to surrender fully.
Yes, Prabhu. I'll pray as you said, Prabhu.
I wish I heard this summary when I was younger, because actually, I would have to say I'm still baby. Yes, I agree. I'm still baby, but
so
but I would have to say, like, I'm a person of many masks because of this, trying to fit in the social norms.
Yeah. So of course, when we come with the devotee, it's no longer mundane social, right? There's a way that we have to behave properly. But with karmis, with family, like with my family, I haven't seen them in 10 years. I don't care. I don't consider things according to material needs like this. I have to go see my sisters because they haven't seen me in 10 years. They cannot help me in Krishna consciousness. If I go there, I'm not gonna gain anything. So who cares? This life is gonna be finished soon anyway. So they're gonna have forgotten me. I'm gonna have forgotten them. It's not very important, all these material relationships. Even my mother, although she chants maybe 1 round a day, she's more or less a karmi. So I don't have that much affection. Of course, when she contacts me, I act. Yes, mother, this, that. But as far as going to see her, or I don't know, if she wants to come here and live under my shelter, that I guide her, then okay. But not that I have to please you. You're speaking in a way, and I have to please you, and not like that. People who are nonsense, when they talk nonsense, sometimes I don't even reply. I don't even look at them. Of course, I don't want to be rude. Someone who's innocent and something, then okay. But if you are nonsense, and I know you're nonsense, and you're just simply disturbing my spiritual life, I don't even bother replying. You can call me rude, but yeah, I want to be rude with such people. What's the use? There's no need to waste so much energy in all these social manners. I should focus on being with the devotee, serving the devotee. That is real. That is reality. But all these other people, so we have to become free from that, and there's no other way but to surrender full time with the devotees, live with them. Okay, I think.
I'm so sorry. Actually, I just came across something, and I felt it was a little bit important to address,
Yes, you
because
can share it.
in the comments to your latest video, somebody in the comments to your latest video, there's a person who has uploaded the full, that particular section of the conversation of your Narayan Maharaj.
Yeah.
He said that, it goes like this: The Hague, Holland, July 13, 2005. Some persons have told me that when they read Pujapad Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj translations of Srimad Bhagavatam, and especially his purports, they lose their faith in Krishna consciousness. They say this is because his books state that ladies are inferior and that black people are all Shudras and cannot have bhakti. So many people who were in ISKCON left because of this. So,
Well, that's not the whole thing also. Even though he says it's the whole thing, it's not the whole thing. Later on, after that, he says, he reinitiated disciple, right? This
Jadurani Madhuri.
Jadurani. Yeah, he reinitiated her. Okay.
Yes,
So then after that, he says, this is not wrong. This is wrong translation, he says. Is our Jadurani less intelligent? And then you hear the disciples, no, like that, So actually, this translation is correct. Prabhupada says, Stri, what is that? Vaishya Shudra, right?
So in this it shows that what is it? Yes. There's this was Mami Patra Vipashritya. In that there is somebody's reading the translation. After that, for that he's saying what you explained is totally wrong. That is why they are confused and have doubts. Mami Patra Vipashritya. After the word Papa Yonia, there should be a comma, not a hyphen, and not the word like. Three women are not Papa Yoni. Shudras are also not Papa Yoni.
No, but that
this is where he's caught.
Exactly. So he's going against Prabhupada's translation.
Yes,
That's
Prabhu.
it.
This is very good because Prabhupada very often says that he categorizes them together.
Yes, Prabhupada says low birth, then he defines what is that? Vaishya, Shudra, women,
Yes, Prabhu.
Is that? And plus, so many places in Prabhupada's purport, he explains that women are less intelligent, So,
yes.
So it's not just that the editors have done that. No, you're going against the Acharya. That's what he's doing. But he knows well, he's smart. He knows how to play the game. He knows that if he speaks too openly against Prabhupada, then he will lose his credibility. So therefore, Prabhupada like that. Actually, he's one of the greatest rascals because after Prabhupada's departure, he was the one who also, introduced so many nonsense in the movement. So I don't care. These people, they can. I'll just delete that comment. You say it's on the last.
There is another
one, right?
comment. There's another comment following that. Amsterdam, Holland, July 15, 2005. Question is, Gurudev, the other night you were speaking about the wrong editing of our Srila Prabhupada's books. Having heard your class, some devotees may become afraid to read his books now, doubting all his published books. They may be wondering if they are really getting Prabhupada or someone else. Can you say something about that? He says they should carefully read the books of Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj. They should read all his books. Generally, there will be no doubt, but where there is some doubt, they should see his original writing. There are so many changes in Srimad Bhagavatam.
That's what I'm saying. He's very clever. Why he spoke like that in that specific, maybe 2005 Darshan in Shitpol airport. Maybe he knew how many ISKCON devotees were there, so he's got to flatter them a little bit, right? So, how do you know what was the situation? You don't know. So sometime he'll speak in, just like each of his books, he will put Prabhupada's picture there, isn't it? He puts Prabhupada, then he puts his, he puts his spiritual master, then he puts Prabhupada, and then he puts him. He says that this is my Diksha Guru, Shiksha Guru, and myself, so at least, I'm part of the Parampara, that's the meaning. Okay, where has it ever been seen that an Acharya will reinitiate someone that's been already initiated by a bona fide spiritual master? This is complete against, Prabhupada clearly says that. This is against all Vaishnava etiquettes. No real Vaishnavas will support this. And he's done it.
Yes, Prabhu.
No, he's just envious of Prabhupada. He was nobody before Prabhupada, you know. He was no one. And because
Yes.
Prabhupada brought all the Westerners to India, then he appeared to be someone, but he could not do anything. So anyway.
Speaking on what you just now mentioned, I think a few moments back, where you said that why there's a need to visit family, because there at some point we'll all die and we'll all forget about each other, right? The question I've been actually meaning to ask for a long time is, do we remember our time in this material world having been liberated and gone to the spiritual world? Because if we don't remember our time in this material world, then what's the guarantee that we won't commit the same mistake of leaving the spiritual world again, having not remembered the problems that we went through?
Well, it is said that when one becomes self-realized, he sees his material existence as being a dream, you know? So it's not that, like, all I can tell you is that when we are here and we become completely perfect, we will still remember what happened to us, but we will see it as a dream, something that happened to that was unreal, you know? So this is how a self-realized person sees. If there's someone who knows a verse about this, maybe you can share. So when one is fully reawakened, he sees his material existence as being a former dream only. Now the spiritual world, it is said everybody is there Satchidananda. Chit means full of knowledge. So it's possible that you remember your thing. I cannot quote exactly. Maybe someone has got a specific quote of Prabhupada answering that question.
Yeah, I have that, Prabhu. I have that. I will share it.
Yes, then good. There you go.
I'm not sure where I've read it, but I think Prabhupada somewhere mentioned that if you put your hand in a fire, you wouldn't want to put it again, right? Something like that.
Yes. Yeah.
So you'll know, I
Now
think.
if we've experienced all of this, right? So as we go back, we'll definitely not want to be going through all of this again, isn't it? So that's the whole point of the material world anyway, to give you a chance to try to be happy without Krishna. So if the experience is not carried with us, if we didn't take anything from that, what was the use of this whole mess? We have to learn from this. So I don't know if they will be able to find that quote. Meanwhile, Dimitri Prabhu is saying about like the ISKM Vaishnava Sangha group, there's 250 devotees. So yeah, so for now, let them associate with you, let them develop some affinity for us. Because if we go too hard on the Ridvik thing, yeah, they might be burned, you know. So let them know that, you know, we are devotees, we like to associate with one another. This is the main thing that we do, not just to expose the faults. But yeah, if there's some philosophical questions asked, then we must reply, you know. Okay, so here's the quote, and you can see Sami Prabhu is sharing. Malati, when they go back to Godhead, some people can remember their past lives, Prabhupada. Yes. Malati, in the mind, yes. I thought the mind was left behind. No, actually, mind carries you to the next body, so mind goes with you. The material mind, material ego, material intelligence become nil when you are completely liberated. But at that time, your spiritual mind acts. It is not very difficult to understand. Somebody's acting under the impression, just like one of our students, he was acting under the impression that he is Frenchman and doing something subversive. And now he's thinking that I'm Krishna's. Chuckles. He has stopped all the nonsense. When he was thinking that he's Frenchman, that mind was there. And now he's thinking that I'm Krishna, the mind is there. So where's the question? Where's the chance of losing the mind? You want to question anything? Yeah, so here we see that we will remember, you know. And it makes sense because you're Satchidananda, you're full of knowledge. So why wouldn't you have knowledge? Full of knowledge means also full of knowledge of the material world. Plus the experience is there, you know. Anyway, so let us be worried about going back there before thinking on how we will think when we're there, as if it's already done, right? Yeah, it's a big thing to go back there in the first place.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Okay, 3 hours down the line. I think it's a good.
Thank you, Prabhu. So
thank you very much. So thank you to all of you. Sorry if I've committed any offense, and I hope we can have such session again sometime.
Thank you so much.
Vanchakalpatarubhishcha kripa sindhubhyev cha.
Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaः. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Jai, Jai, Prabhupada ki jai.
Prabhupada ki jai.